There it is. It's live.
All right. Figured that out. That was a pain in the ass. Okay, so let me talk about the purpose of this live stream. We have a couple people. This actually will be pretty good because I know Vlad pretty well. I know Coach really well. I know the weeb icon, aka Fatal Aria.
Hi.
Who deserves to be shot.
Oh man.
Again.
Inside joke.
But Mr. Magic Man and Feels Good Batman are new acquaintances, and I thought this would be a good experience to bring in some voices that aren't in my echo chamber. Well, maybe you're in my echo chamber, because I'm sure Vlad will want to challenge me on some points too, because that's all Vlad does is challenge me on some points. So, oh man, now I accidentally just dropped out of chat here, so let me pull chat back up. The whole purpose of this video, though, is to talk about why I am staying in Magic the Gathering. Of course, there's a lot of outrage for another boycott. First of all, I don't think boycotts work. And second of all, my whole main stance on this issue is that I think I have more invested in this game than 90% of, besides as a monetary, well, even at a monetary level, but even the people that work for Wizards of the Coast right now, that this game means more to me than it does to them. To them, it might just be a job. To me, it's been part of my childhood and now of my adult life, and why I think it's worth fighting for, and why I kind of reject the if you don't like it, just go away type mentality. That I think that fighting from the inside is better than trying to fight from the outside. So that's going to sort of be the topic for today. We can go over a little bit of the drama surrounding the Store of Fire and Dice. And yeah, I've got a little bit of new information, which sways my opinions a bit, but I still think that it's still on Wizards of the Coast, so we can get into that. We can talk about our good friend Jeremy for a while, the definitely most hated person in the community. Who I still talk over.
Voldemort.
There you go.
Why I continue to involve myself with someone like him. Oh man, messages I get constantly with that is of course ridiculous. And we can talk about that. And yeah, other than that, it'll just kind of be open for discussion where we want to go with the stream. Didn't have a lot of it planned. So first of all, let's just start off with an introduction. Let's start off with the newcomers. You can introduce your channel, shout out your channel, and describe where you kind of fit in to this Magic the Gathering community. So let's start with Feels Good Batman.
Well, if it isn't obvious, I am Feels Good Batman. Very new to the Magic the Gathering community after a 12-year hiatus. Played when I was a kid in Kamigawa block. Just love the cards, love the art. Magic's supposed to be fun, number one. It's supposed to be an escape for us, nerds, I guess, to just sit down and just play cards. Some people like collecting. There's a lot of aspects of Magic the Gathering that I love. Finance, collecting cards, bindering, deck techs, you name it. So I was just like, you know what? I watched Rudy's video. Sorry, not my plug, but my channel is Magic the Gathering for the Win, MTGFTW. Selfish plug there. I'm actually very honored to be speaking with you all this evening. And really, it's just Rudy. Rudy was my number one guy. I was like, this is a stock market? Wait a minute. Like, cards fluctuate in price? There's people that buy these things for astronomical amounts of money? I want in. This is great. Let's please do it. So I threw on the cape and the cowl and just went at it.
Fair enough. Yep, I'm a big financer too. Me and Rudy butt heads on most topics when it comes to MTG finance, but good to consider Rudy a friend. All right, who's up next?
The new boy.
The other new boy.
Yeah.
Introduce yourself.
Well, my name is Mr. Magic Man. Mr. Magic Man. This is pretty much a funny one, but I didn't really start talking about Magic until like November when Unsleeved Media or Jeremy, whatever the fucker's name. Oh, am I allowed to say it? Am I allowed to?
Oh man,
that word's okay. Just there's a couple words that will automatically get us thrown off YouTube. You cannot say, but that one's usually right.
YouTube anyway. Anyway, I didn't really talk about much about the whole Magic, the whole talking about the game part until like November. And then we see, we at Wizards of the Coast are really a parent of Hasbro. We could lose our future fundings in like the next year or so. Shit, let's keep making awful business decisions and killing our own game. And here we are.
Yeah, I mean, I've not been impressed with the last 2 years, majorly last 2 years decision. Kind of funny too today. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Well, I got a response to a tweet which I can't even read because I'm blocked by the person, which was funny. And then I actually was able to see the tweet, and it was just one of those offhanded comments back to a legitimate concern where I can't play a specific card on MTGO, and that's that person's particular job to make sure that cards can be played on MTGO. And they gave me kind of a snippy comment back about how they're working on it. Now, 2 years of working on a card is just pathetic, in my opinion. And the entire, I think that her attitude and her, obviously the qualifications of not being able to address problems professionally and in a timely manner just show why they shouldn't be in that position to begin with. So I'm sick and tired of the shuffling around of Wizards employees based upon their political ideology rather than their merit, which I know is rampant. It just takes one Glassdoor review search to see that. Anyone that's ever worked for Wizards of the Coast has not come out of it with a decent experience, at least the ones that, that were apt at their job, in my opinion. Anyway, let's go down the line. I think we got Coach up next. We'll have Coach introduce.
All right, cool. So I'm Coach. I'm from the Card Bazaar, and mostly I do history videos, top 100 videos. Well, just recently, but I'm pretty much like trying to be somewhat of a Magic historian, even though I'm kind of like late to the show. Like, I think Kevin knows for sure that I didn't start till like Cons block, so that's the thing. But I guess better late than never. And so have a YouTube channel. It's around 4,600 subs, so I'm trying to do my best to get up there ish. And I'm here to talk about what's been going on the past 2 or 3 days.
Well, what I like about Coach too is Coach is generally loved by everyone in the Magic Gathering community, and it just shows to see though, if you're like this us versus them mentality, eventually is going to encapsulate all of us if we let it keep going down this road. Like, if you might have known, I got let go from Gathering Magic back in November. Their reasoning, even though they never would explicitly say to me that was their reasoning, other than I do have transcripts from people at Gathering the Magic basically telling me that their reasoning is that the reason why that they no longer have associated with me is I refuse to give up my association with Jeremy from Unsafe Media, which I find very, very troubling because, okay, well, let's say that Kevin now becomes the toxic person that needs to go out of the community. Well, I'm friends with a lot of people that are then. I mean, anybody in the Magic community, you can have like a one-person connection. It's kind of like the have you ever played the game where how many handshakes it takes to get to the Pope, and it's actually quite
my end.
Quick.
Sorry for talking to you, Kevin, but if you hear pings on my end, that's Discord wanting to. So just gonna
mute it.
Yeah, mute your Discord, or close your Discord, or whatnot.
Do not disturb for the time being.
Just go into your audio mixer and just mute it.
So
anyway.
So yeah, so it's I think that Magic, if they keep headed down that road, that's the fastest way to completely kill off your player base, is by isolating those people, and then by association you start to eat at someone else. So again, a lot of people don't care that Jeremy got banned from, or Travis Wu got banned. Those two are very close personal friends of mine, and whether you disagree or agree with what they did or not, you can see that impacts me, which then, what if I'm the next off the chopping block or someone else? Pretty soon it's going to be not very far until it is someone you absolutely do know that is being thrown into this nonsense. And in my opinion, the company just overreaches what its moral obligation to its own community is. A company shouldn't be so policing or hands-on with social media, for one. Anyway, just thought that I'd give that little shout out to Coach being just the great peacemaker. I'm glad he's he's joining us tonight.
Yeah, I'm the guy that's trying to see from like both angles, and I'm probably gonna be the neutral person on here anyway, and just I'll probably listen more, and if I have a decent 2 cents that's worth a damn, I'll probably throw it out there when everyone's done with theirs. So, but I'm just here to like listen and kind of see what everyone else's thoughts are on it.
All right, Vlad.
The legend.
My name is Anu Vlad, and I don't really inherently discuss Magic the Gathering usually unless something actually piques my interest, namely the drama. And I mean, although I do play Magic, I've played since Core 2011, I do believe, because I just remember the year more than the actual set, and ultimately, and I love Magic, but I really try not to talk about it too much because I don't want to be considered a Magic channel. No offense, but ultimately, yeah, and as far as shilling is concerned, I you know what, I never shill www.youtube.com/anuvad ever. So and aside from that, yeah, so we can move on to the next person. Aside from the point I want to make that surprisingly Perp is in here, so I don't feel like I'm talking shit. I'm actually almost in the same boat as Perp is, or at least was, given the video he had released. So, yeah.
Yeah, this will be interesting because I think I have a little bit of different attitude before you and the dreaded Perp. But Perp's never right about anything.
The great battle between MTG Perp and Vlad.
Well, it's before we get to the elusive Perp. We got a few others. Who wants to go next? We got Ada Wolf that just popped in.
Yeah,
You can skip me, so I just
Ada
basically do stuff for your website. So skip me.
Yes.
So
Ari is not worth talking about.
I thought you said anal wolf, and I'm like, is that a wolf that's into anal? Oh my god.
So my aspect is it says I've owned and been partial owner of like several businesses and involved in several businesses, and one of the businesses that we own, under them, they did have a WPN status store. In fact, we were like one of the only Magic stores in the area. So I've got a little bit of understanding of how the WPN system works, but I've also worked with a lot of retailers and sponsors and stuff like that. So I've got some opinions on what you should and shouldn't do when you're involved in those things.
Fair enough. It should be a very lively discussion. And last but definitely least, in this case, is the serial harasser, the person that has made my life a living hell, that has attacked my business, has attacked my integrity, and now is attacking my abs.
At least you have abs.
Roll.
What's up, Purple?
I can't do a fucking drum roll.
Can you fucks hear me?
There, quit swearing.
The
Perp life.
speaks.
I just want to make sure, first of all, because I don't know. I heard a bunch of mouths running, and I didn't know if you could hear me. I figured I'd wait. After Vlad plugged himself and fucked up his own name, I couldn't even talk. And then there's just a bunch of nonsense going on. Kevin over there with the biggest smile on his face. I hate him so much, and yet his nipples got hard as soon as I showed up.
So fucking angry.
Fantastic.
So angry. That anger. That raw anger.
I ain't fucking angry. I'm pretty chill right now, actually. This is not angry me.
Yeah, you don't cover the whole drama shit though, which I respect.
Yeah, fuck that shit, bro.
So let's start it off. Let's start off why do we play Magic? That's the question I want to throw out there first. Or why do you stick with Magic? We all seem to be pretty fair to say we've all been disappointed with at least somewhere that Wizards has been in the last year. In my opinion, especially, it's been heated off since November. And we all have different opinions on who's mainly at fault for what, or who's. I am still under the camp that the buck always stops with the company. The company has the greatest responsibility. And I also find it to seem that the company has been the most childish out of any of the groups, out of all of them, even out of the dreaded side we like to call SJWs. I think that Wizards of the Coast themselves have been even more pathetic than that camp. And that's what that really, really troubles me as a store owner, as a someone that makes a good chunk of change off of the promoting Magic the Gathering on YouTube and offering Magic the Gathering products. It's scary actually to have so much of your livelihood tied to a company that just doesn't seem like they know how to run their own game, or at least responsibly run their game. So first of all, though, with that out of the way, I see the boycott going around. I don't agree with the boycott. I think a boycott is a bad idea. And I feel for Song of Fire and Dice. I feel for Jeremy and Travis Wu. And I feel for other people that have been either banned or become outcasts or whatnot from the game. But to me, I still continue. I've slept on it. I still continue to think about Magic. That I probably have way more invested in this game than, like I said, 95%, 99% of people even work for Wizards. And so to me, that's the battle. That I need to keep in and have my voice here, rather than to be someone else that quits it and craps on it from the outside. Because we all know that Jeremy will attack things for attacking things. It's got to the point that if Wizards does anything, they sneeze, they blink, they cough. Oh, look at that! Attack it, because anything that hurts Wizards is a boon to me. So that's the camp that I stand in. If anyone else want to chime in on why they still play Magic, or if they don't play Magic anymore, any underlying reasons why?
I'll raise my hand. I'm
Okay.
going to be the first victim. All right. So I started right around 2015, about 3 years ago. I just thought Magic was going to be a bit better for me because it's a bit more advanced version of Yu-Gi-Oh! Well, isn't that a coincidence, Kappa? But every time WotC pulls some bullshit, and I'm just telling how it is, I'm like, oh my god. Like, it wouldn't kill you with WotC to make better answers. And I just shrug on through. I mean, we had a Hastings. You remember who remembers Hastings? Anyone? They were practically like an entertainment store at the time. And they ran sanctioned events. And right around December of 2015, another shop called Colison's came out. I went there, and Colison's was very nice at the time. But the bad standards we've got, it's either I'm bored shitless of Magic, or I just do it anyway.
So why do you still play?
Well, to support my local game store, because that money should be going to them, not Wizards.
Yeah, I agree. I agree to a point. I do think that the game store should have personal responsibility for what they do. We'll get into the Song of Fire and Dice aspect to it, but I think that Wizards and a lot of the people that we see especially online, that may not even have game stores that they like. To be honest, and I guess I'll go to Purple. The whole reason that I even fell in love with, did I say love? The whole reason why I got this romance with the purpley one, it's a random. I don't even know how the hell that I found your channel, Purple, but it was because I think it was over the drama for one thing. But then I think a bunch of my fans kept saying, "Check out Purple, check out Purple, check out Purple." So I randomly clicked on, and you were live streaming, and you were walking with your crappy cell phone through your local game store, and it was just one after another, joking around with someone at your store. And you don't run the store, right? You just help them with events.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. The store, I'm not like an official representative of the store. I'm not like a fucking employee of the store. None of my opinions are representative of the store. I basically help this guy so Magic keeps going. Like, I obviously get rewarded for doing it, but it's not a job. Hell, what I get out of it would be illegal to give me as little as I take for helping him, kind of thing. So basically, I go and take care of making sure I knock heads for Magic. I know all the rules. I keep everybody in check. We all have a good time. And I want to answer why you said why I still play Magic and why I still deal with Magic, because honestly, I have the benefit of being firmly rooted in the real world when it comes to Magic. Because here's my Magic experience. I started Magic the Gathering in 1994. I started Magic YouTube in 2015, 2016, tossing up very small random videos for the store. So my online experience, even at the beginning, was just to facilitate the physical presence. And what I've noticed is online, Everybody's so upset about everything that they're sick to their stomachs. They're throwing up. They're screaming, and it's the apocalypse time. And I go to the store each week. They don't even know what's going on. And I look and I go, I wonder what the reality is. Is it the small online segment that's losing their goddamn minds? Or does all these guys that I see week after week playing Magic? Now, that's not to say that Magic hasn't shrunk, because it has. I make my money off it. I see that shit. But it's in the online world and the physical world are different. And because I'm firmly rooted in the physical world, and because I have my King Cube, I still play Magic. It's still the same fantasy game. I am still that motherfucking planeswalker from the mid-90s who's still traveling to different planes of existence looking for the finest and most powerful magics. And that's why I get upset when everything's named after Jace. That's when I get upset when we go to Kaladesh. Beep, beep, here's your Jeep. That's not acceptable. That's not Magic.
Can I say this? I'm sorry for over talking, but you and I would get along on the whole Kaladesh thing, besides vehicles being cancerous.
It's just, the thing about vehicles is you want to do airships, fine. You want to do boats, fine. You can't, like Urza's cell phone, I'm sorry, if it's too close to the mundane world, fantasy offers something that science fiction can't, because science fiction is almost a promise of what's coming. And no matter what, I'm not going to be able to fly around on a dragon, stabbing fucking, I'm going to stab an evil wizard. And now I have 7 big-titted women to like serve me in my castle. But we're all happy. There's nothing fucked up about this. It's just a fun power fantasy or whatever, man. Magic is just still that. I'm the badass planeswalker. I don't give a shit about that mending stuff where they're like, no, man, you're on equal footing with Jace and your friends, and you just summon up your buddy emo Jace. I'd be like, Jace, I will destroy you. You wouldn't even exist in the same universe that I'm a planeswalker in. Forget it. Anyways, I love Magic. I love Magic for the flavor and for the people who play it. That was a long way of saying that, bro.
No, and that's what I was when I watched your first video I ever saw with you. It was literally like a camaraderie. It was the way that local game stores should be run. Everyone seemed like they were friends, like they would actually hang out besides this game called Magic. And I think that's the biggest disconnect with Magic the Gathering, is thinking that they are the catalyst to all this, when actually the local, it's just the local game store itself, these groups.
Did you just finally realize what the 6th color of Magic is? Did that just finally happen? I've been saying it for so goddamn long.
Okay, but I think to echo what you're saying about the online group, these groups that even admittedly do not have game stores, they maybe came from World of Warcraft TCG or Hearthstone, or I don't know, randomly picked up I don't know how they got into MCG Online or whatnot. They just don't even understand that aspect of the bread and butter of Magic the Gathering. Well, and I know that the vast majority of sales, which is still funny though, because the vast majority of sales is to casuals. Casuals, A, they don't go to game stores, local game stores, and B, they're not online. So this last fight with Magic trying to say that they're just trying to keep up image, to me, just like whoosh, just goes over even that demographic. It's so unnecessary. But anyway, we'll get down to the other list before we get into that. Anyone else want to chime in why they play Magic, why they're continuing to play Magic?
Sorry, before we continue, I just want to cover one thing.
Sure.
I don't know everybody who's here. I see all these faces down at the bottom, and occasionally pops a name up, but I literally have no idea who I'm having a
You missed
conversation
the introductions, man. You're
Yeah, I
late
know,
to the
I know,
party,
and
so
I just want to know who the
Late
fuck
to
I'm
the
talking
party.
Uh,
By
I
the
don't
way,
know.
I just like to comment on his snakeskin headphones, if anybody noticed. Those are very cute, by the way. Just to let you know, Perp, I love them. I'm Feels Good Batman. I was just in your live chat. I said see you soon. MTG FT Dubs. That's
Yeah,
me.
no, I see the name down there now.
I invited some plebs just to make
Some
this
plebs.
more innocent.
The 6-color Magic's a cult.
Yeah.
There you go.
And I'm part of that set cult.
Oh, was Fatal Area foolish enough to dox yourself in the name there?
Oh, with Casey.
Yeah.
Womp womp womp.
I thought I changed that.
Oh,
Nope. Pretty soon we're gonna put your address up on.
yeah, I'm Google mapping their house right now.
The funniest thing about me though is I'm the easiest person in the world to completely dox and know exactly where I
already did it.
My town is so small. And everyone knows me here. So it's one of these days I'm gonna get shot.
But I think
I already
Don't know.
doxed him. I know where he lives.
So
Dun.
I never played Magic too much. My uncle played it a lot when I was younger. And when I started playing TCGs, it was probably like 2007, 2008. Never really dabbled too hardcore into them. Ironically enough, my local game store, more of the adults played Yu-Gi-Oh, and more of the younger teenagers played Magic. So it's kind of the exact opposite from what I'm sure a lot of people see, and most of it had to do with like a lot of just drama. The older players kind of went back to Yu-Gi-Oh just because a lot of the younger kids were doing it and they didn't really want to play with a lot of kids. But seeing Magic being very, very popular in the 90s and early 2000s, being going to like a local game store and playing DDO with my friends while my uncle was playing Magic, you could tell that it's shrinking a lot. And I think that part of that is a natural progression of just paper games in general dying. You don't even have to really go to an LGS to play D&D anymore. There's plenty of online programs with lots of tools.
You don't have to buy the books anymore. That's the frustrating part for a local game store.
Yeah, like you don't have to buy like $80,000 worth of games and dice and all that jazz, and all the rules are updated automatically, and you can kind of go in and just play. So I think that hurts a lot of local game stores as well. Just and I would say that the majority of the people that are interested in these things, where I used to grow up, I mean, it might take you an hour, 45 minutes to go to a local game store. It's not like you can just hop on your bicycle and get there in these rural areas in the Midwest. So I think that hurts a lot too. But I definitely agree with Purple. You look at it, most of the people that are playing Magic, most of the people that are playing these games, they don't know any of this drama that's going on online. I mean, Twitter is a fraction of what these people, that are actually playing these games. But I do also understand that the people that are online and that are trying to connect with other players see a lot of this stuff going on. And I think overall it just hurts the company. I think the actions of the company hurt the company. I think the actions of the fans hurt the company. And I don't really see any way out of it at this point. I think that the internet is so built on negativity. Kind of what Kevin was saying earlier. Jeremy will slight them for anything. Most Magic fans will tear WotC apart for any reason.
Oh, I know a way to save Magic, but I'll wait for that.
Yeah, but I don't know if there's really a long-term solution, and it doesn't seem like WotC's really investing in the paper as much as they are trying to put their eggs in the basket of Arena either. So I don't know if maybe they see the writing on the wall and they're trying to focus more on that. But I don't know. I feel like paper games in general are just on their last leg.
Well, I got a theory with that. The craze, to me, just seems the timing seems too good to explain the last Magic the Gathering craze. It came off the heels, and this is exactly why I got into Magic. Is World of Warcraft died, and remember, World of Warcraft was massive at its peak. It was so entrenched in pop culture, and I mean, let me say this before I guess World of Warcraft's not dead and never did die before I offend the hardcores. But you remember when everyone played WoW? Everyone.
Oh yeah.
And it became such a even Oprah and all these talk shows would have all these World of Warcraft addiction. Dr. Phil shows would have all this stuff that would have it up, and then it about died about Innistrad, Return to Ravnica, exactly when I got into it, and we had this massive craze. And I think that did a lot of gamers just go in trends of look at Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go's dead, and it was everyone and their grandma played at one point. So I think Magic, that was one of the ebb and flows, but definitely I do think that the internet culture kind of clashing with the game culture has caused a lot of strife in the direction of at least of the health of Magic.
Yeah,
so,
well, and if you look at it too, when I was working at GameStop was during the massive peak of World of Warcraft. I remember having 250 people at a smaller store that I was helping out at the time for World of Warcraft midnight launch. And people were buying all the trading cards for it, and they were playing the games outside while they were waiting to come in and buy the expansions and stuff like that. So I remember that card game being very popular as well. And I know a lot of it was because people were buying it to try to get in-game item cards. Because they were worth a lot of money. You could sell the codes online and make a fortune off of them if you got lucky enough. But I think that you're kind of right. Things kind of swing around in balance. Things get popular and then things become unpopular. I mean, if you'd have told me, 5 years ago that the Halo franchise, for better or worse, is more or less, dead, this point. I think 343 has kind of ran that into the ground. I'd have laughed at you. You know what I mean? Like, or if you would have said that Call of Duty is kind of, falling down on its knees now, I would have laughed at you after seeing all the people pick those up at midnight. So games definitely come and go, but I think that paper is a harder thing to recover because paper, it's got a nostalgia feel to it. But how many people are buying books compared to Audible, or how many people are not, buying them off Amazon?
Okay, well, the thing is with the paper, and the only reason I would actually disagree with that is because ultimately the cards have value attached to them. They're not just nostalgic. Like, they have actual monetary value, and people make a living off of that at the moment. And honestly, at the end of the day, I am a bit skeptical that making Magic cards is so expensive that they would just decide to stop. So, I mean, considering they have like virtually no input in the secondary market, I don't see any reason why they wouldn't continue to print them. And I don't see everybody converting to Arena, and I really don't see people not going to LGS stores anymore just because. Like, I think LGSs are still pretty, big.
Well, and that's what I think they should be focusing on. That's where I've been saying this entire time, that the local game store is my generation's bar. Oh, wow. That just come out of my mouth.
that did just come out of your mouth.
Or who bowls? Who goes? When I was growing up, even my dad or my uncles would go to like bowling night, right. And that was their way. That was their form of camaraderie. Man, now I'm really gonna tick words off if I start getting into gender stuff. That was the night out. That was the way to get away from the wives. And now I see that today for local game stores. Local game stores.
Sexist pig.
Well, our Friday Night Magic, well, before they swore off my store and started playing somewhere else because of the Fatal Push drama, that was our Friday Night Magic, the modern group, that was their night to get away from their wives, to come here and play a game and have a little bit of camaraderie. And now we're definitely sounding exclusive of not.
I wonder how many of them lied and said they were going to the bar instead they were going to an LGS.
You wouldn't do that in Utah. You can't say you're going to the bar, otherwise that'd cause massive problems with the. Especially, you don't tell your wife you're going to a bar. Come on.
Well, and I'll say this: like, I honestly agree with Vlad. I don't think people will transition to Arena. I think Arena is 5 years too late and a long shot.
It could have come out during Hearthstone's prime.
Yeah, but what I would say too is look at all these collectible toys. Like, look at the Star Wars toy resale market is absolutely plummeted because physical things, in terms of themselves, like go look at how games used to be really exclusive. Like, if you wanted to buy a copy of Earthbound on the Super Nintendo, I mean, you'd probably pay like $2,000-$3,000. But now it's digitally available almost everywhere, and the price of it's gone down to probably like $80, maybe $60-$50 with a box. So physical things are not going to hold their value in the future. And I was reading something the other day about how action figure sales are down about 30% in the last 2 years, and they were down about 15% the years prior. And that's because kids nowadays feel like physical toys are punishments. If you take away their iPad, you take away their cell phone, you take away their DS, their Switch, all their video games, they feel like it's a punishment when they're given a physical toy. So
and look at what Wizards of the Coast did with the Ultra Pro token things, and also these little mini figs that they're coming out with. They're putting their fingers in different pockets because they don't know who they're catering to. They don't know if they should cater to the new kids who are playing the game or the old school farts who've been playing it since 1993. They don't know what to do. That's why you see all this little kitty art all over it that looks like a 7-year-old's going to play. They don't know where to put their stock. And the mass majority of people who've been playing this game since 1993 and have built up a passion about it and watching it slowly crumble away, or let's put it into the new generation of Magic kids who are 12 and don't even know what's going on and just spend most of their time on social media. That's why there's a difference between people who don't know what's going on in the social media world versus what's going on in the Magic world, because those people who are in the Magic world live in their parents' basement. No offense, I'm just trying to say people need to crawl out of the ground and really see what Wizards of the Coast is destroying to this great nostalgia that a game is.
Well, and I feel like in some ways that WotC is like, to me, I don't know about y'all, but it seems like WotC is like starting to run out of ideas Like if you look at, I'm pretty sure Perp and like Rogue have seen just some of the greatest times of like Magic history. Like Perp been around since like since the very first like sets. So he's seen all like the good and the bad. Like he's seen Innistrad and he's definitely seen Homelands.
Dominator was great though.
But then he also saw Amonkhet and Hour of Devastation and Kaladesh and all this crap that's been coming out for the past 6 years.
I think you're just mad because they didn't make a Batmobile vehicle.
It doesn't even matter. That has nothing to do with anything. We're talking about Magic. We're not even talking about Batman. Don't even bring him into this.
Well, I think that they are spreading themselves too thin. I think that
yes,
like you said,
agreed.
They don't exactly know who to market to. But if my nephew is getting to be about 5 or 6 or so, and he's getting kind of interested in like nerd stuff. My brother-in-law is kind of a nerd like I am. If I were to try to sit down and teach him how to play a TCG game, he would look at me like, "Why aren't we just playing this on
my tablet
together?" Yeah.
Well, that's why. Why do you think they introduced Magic the Gathering Arena a little bit too late? I think they just blew their load a little bit, a little short, and there's like it's a sure sign that they don't know where to go. It's dying. TCGs aren't dead. Trading card games as a whole. Look at all the games that are out there. Android Netrunner, which is still going on. All the new Dragon Ball game that's coming out. The new Warhammer card game that's coming out. TCGs aren't dead as a platform.
Yeah, well, that's what I'll argue with you here, Idolwolf, completely here. Yeah. I think that is what gives Magic its magic, is not trying to focus on Artifact is going to be coming out. It's going to be coming out. It's run by a company that is very competent, has created the best esport imaginable, Dota 2. You can argue with me until I'm blue in the face, and I'll give you reasons why I think Dota 2 has been the most successful esport out of any esport that's ever existed. So I think this is a space that Wizards shouldn't be trying to be the top dog in. I think they should let Hearthstone and Artifact and whatnot and go back to doing what they do best, which is Magic. And this is what Magic has over everything else, is that it is something different. I think young kids, especially parents that I see, want their kids to have a social life, to have a social setting where they sit and play physical cards. And it has this appeal that doesn't exist to them yet. It's like a new frontier to them, to be collecting cards, because they've never, like, my generation grew up doing it. We collected baseball cards before we did collected. So I don't know. I think that I think we're going off a little bit off topic though with Wizards as far as that. I mean, that's of course going to be a headache for them to try to figure out the shift in trends.
They should just keep banning people. They'll work out.
Stuff like, well, again, that's where I want to direct this back to.
Just keep banning.
We've talked about targeted demographics, and where I can't help but see. Have you guys seen the latest Geeks and Sundry video that they put out?
No.
I saw that
they are fucking cringe.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, I have no problem against any one of them that's on there. Of course, it's a redheaded girl that's been playing for, in her words, 6 months.
Oh, yeah, you.
6 months.
Yeah,
They learned for that video, and they must have been some minor celebrities somewhere. Didn't recognize either one. Like, I'm not really entrenched in the Geeks and Sundry culture, so I don't know who the hell they are. So they might be some minor e-celebs. But if you go watch that video, can anyone really tell me that they want to be there? In fact, it gets to about the 58-minute mark, and she's like, well, that's all the time that we have today. We'll have to continue this game later. And the other girl's like, hold up, I think I won next turn. And like, okay, well then hurry and win then, so we can be done with this crappy promotional video and beyond, go back to doing things we want to do. And unfortunately, that's where Wizards has put their eggs. They are trying, in my opinion, to attract these yuppies. I think yuppie is the correct word for it. The young urban professionals, the Starbucks drinkers, the
those have the money to spend.
Hold on, Matt Mercer is part of Geek and Sundry. I don't know if he does any of the Magic content, but he's been part of their cast for a while.
Starbucks.
And there's nothing wrong with like salivating over a demographic you don't already control. But at what point do you say, hey, this isn't working? Hey, well, maybe we should go back to our core audience that got us to the Return to Ravnica through Khan's era, where it was so vibrant. Like the energy to me is different in Magic. When I started playing it again back during Innistrad, Return to Ravnica, Konzatar care. Everyone wanted to tell their mothers about the game. Everyone was trying to recruit everyone in the game, and it caused this domino type effect, especially with me. You know, I had, let's just say, 10 friends. I'd go in and talk my ear off to all of my friends, and you know, the vast majority of them at least got to try the game. And most people just aren't going to be card game players. They're not going to stick with it. But I think word of mouth was their best recruitment tool, and trying to embrace their core audience was a lot better than throwing money at Geeks and Sundry to try to get the people, the purple-haired people, purple-haired nose-ringed
Nose ring.
people. That's
No, I get
You
what
have a
you
nose
mean.
ring,
I get what you
perp?
mean.
I'm just
No, I don't have a goddamn nose.
Spike hair, bro. Spike hair.
Yeah, I got a nose ring and a cock ring and no fucking shit.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
You have a
God.
I'm just saying that's like, they're in Seattle. Obviously, they salivate to have their friends and their other professional colleagues to be into the game that they create. I get it. I get that. But it's just, to me, it's just unfeasible. And if they keep doing this, that's going to be a massive waste of resources. And simultaneously, by thinking that the reason that their yuppies aren't getting into this game is people like Unsleeved Media exist, that to me is just like
what's
completely bonkers.
What's the big deal? Well, he's just speaking the truth at some point. I know everyone jumps down Jeremy's throat, but at the same time, if you think about it, most of the times he's kind of right. And he's just doing it for the views and for the popularity. You're talking to someone that has 27 people on YouTube, someone who's not even a personality whatsoever at all, thinking that WotC is just dropping the ball and also dropping the hammers on people who love this game. Nah.
Mind if I say something here?
Go for it.
Okay, like, even if you don't like Jeremy, okay, the man has a point to say. But somehow all the WotC e-celebs are going to go in their echo chamber, pierce the ear, saying, la, 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 I can't hear you. Well, hey, Wedge, can you get out of your echo chamber, get rid of your rascal, look at reality, see that you're... No, I'm not going to make that joke. I'm not going to make a joke about that. See what has happened, and you're the problem. And wake up. Like, I want all these cringy e-celebs to wake up and realize that they're not, maybe not call this game, but their enforcement of politics are killing the game.
You'll get me to that camp. I can talk for hours and hours and hours upon this.
Yeah.
But, I mean, before we focus too much on Jeremy, I think Jeremy reaped what he sowed, to be honest. I think he's always going to push the envelope. I've known Jeremy even way before the November drama.
You know what? I'm new, so let me weigh out on this one, brother.
Go for it.
The situation is like this. Jeremy got fucking railroaded. It totally happened. He got railroaded. But he got railroaded because he made a bunch of people annoyed with him. It was the situation where so few people were willing to come out and be like, no, that's not the case. And so many people were willing to believe it because he had rubbed so many people the wrong way. Now, I ain't saying that I like Jeremy. I think he's a fucking good dude. But he rubbed enough people the wrong way that when Wizards had their personal vendetta, it's the vendetta of some people inside there coming after him. Look at how quickly they will respond to things involving him. They came out about cyberbullying on a holiday, Thanksgiving long weekend, right? So in the middle of that, they come out about cyberbullying or whatever. When it comes to this fucking Kekistan flag tweeting at Wizards, which, by the way, 1 second to say, I fucking said that was a terrible idea in my video.
No,
anyway,
you didn't see me doing it, so
it's stupid. It's you. The thing is, I said in the video, I didn't expect this reaction. I'm not saying I predicted Wizards was going to fucking ban people, but I said it was a pointless move, and it was, because unlike the MTG trash thing that we did before, there was no central argument to it where things were expressed to them. It just came across as a bunch of children spamming flags and going, freedom of speech, freedom of speech. And it's like, what are you even talking about at this point? So you've got a situation where it's personal vendetta time against Jeremy and things related to him, and that's just going to keep happening. No matter how much these people throw a fit, they've reached the point now where basically Jeremy had a sword and he started banging it against a metal pole with this move. What he did was, when you talk about something that really fucking matters and don't fucking tell people to just go and act like a fucking spaz, then people will take you seriously. But because he did that, Wizards got to the point where, like, start axing these fucking idiots. They're kids. And these kids can go, we're not going to buy your products anymore. But there are one of two camps. And the camps are, you were never buying our products anyways, or fuck you, you're going to buy them anyways because you're a spazzing kid. Even if you're a 40-year-old adult, right now on the internet, you're a spazzing kid. And 2 days from now, this will be you. So yeah, keep running your mouth, little Kekistan kids. Because guess what? I just got a Teferi, bitches. That's how it fucking goes.
So mad. Why are you so mad?
Well, and like
I like how you.
I'm not fucking mad. I'm passionate.
You sound mad, dude.
And
You sound
recognize-
mad. You
No,
sound
that's
mad.
annoying. That's me getting annoyed at you mistaking my passion for anger. All right?
Welcome to the Monster Monster.
We're all passionate. Every single one of these people in this chat is passionate.
Oh, great. Save it, SJWs. We're all fucking black ladies. too.
SJWs,
Let's just hug each other. We're all
You're
equal.
barking
We're
up
all
the wrong
equal.
tree,
We're all
bro.
equal except for old angry perp.
You're barking up the tree.
You're the Orion
I
tree,
agree
dude.
though. I agree, though.
You're barking up the
well,
wrong
and like
tree.
with perp, playing off the freedom of speech stuff. I think a lot of people don't realize that freedom of speech only really applies to the public. So me and like being a teacher, like a few of y'all do know. So I was planned on teaching government this upcoming semester. So I've been prepping for 2 months only to find out yesterday that I'm not gonna be teaching government. So, but looking at all this stuff, it's just like people want to claim freedom of speech, but people also need to realize that WotC is a business. And I hate to say it, but being a private business, and we might not like it, but they can essentially do whatever they want, however they feel like. And if they have agreed to the terms of the WPN, whether we like it or not, it's just they're bound by that contract. Like I saw Perp's video a few hours ago, and this kind of changed my opinion a little bit about that. If one business gets into an agreement with another business, and then first business breaks the agreement, essentially there's going to be trouble there.
They're fired.
So yeah, and it's like people when you enter a contract or some sort of agreement with another company, like the freedom of speech stuff is kind of like off the table because you've
big business. The big business not wanting their little precious gem tainted by all these keck flags, or like Perp said, a bunch of dumb kids on the internet.
Why would they though? Well,
I'm saying
they don't want it tainted, right? And the thing is people who are screaming about freedom of speech, what they're essentially saying is you have to associate with me. I get to be your customer no matter how I act and whatever, because all I have to do is say I'm your customer, and that means I can treat you however the fuck I want, and you have to take it. That's not how it works. How this whole capitalist system works is I set up a business, I run it the way I want. If it doesn't work with the market, I go out of business. It doesn't go just fucking yell at me, do what I want. Like that's just fucking idiotic. It's annoying.
Agreed. And bad publicity is good publicity.
Well, here's an analogy I'm going to bring. Has anyone watched those like sovereign citizen videos?
No.
This is what they're so fucking stupid. That's a naval flag you have there, Your Honor, and I'm sorry, but this isn't a naval court, and you don't have jurisdiction over me. I'm a sovereign citizen.
Almost every sovereign city video ends up with them getting the crap kicked out of them.
It's amazing.
And that's the whole thing. Like, okay, I get it. I get it. A lot of times, police, especially people that are in power, they take it too far, and so that situation really reminds me of that. All right, does Wizards have the right to pull their WPN?
No.
Yep.
Yes, they do have the right to.
Yeah, but
it's
for what
they
reason?
do.
They have the right to do whatever
they can do whatever they want, right? So keep doing it. And what's going on?
It's dumb business.
Yeah, let me explain. It feels
It's
like
dumb
the sovereign
business.
citizen. It's the sovereign citizen. Do those people push it? Do they finally push it to where the cop can be like, you know what? Now you're not cooperating. You're impeding an investigation or resisting arrest or whatever. So now I actually have the legality to kick the crap out of you. So the cops, they have it, but at the same time, I'm like sitting back as a viewer. I'm like, did you have to mace her?
Oh yeah, no, they got it. They're being so stupid that when that happens, that's that justice boner where like, this is what you get for being so stupid and entitled. None of the laws in this country apply to me because I say so. That's what it is. It's literally a childish tantrum, and the cop goes, I'm trying to do my job, and they're like, you don't get to enforce your job on me, and then it's like,
but a lot of times it's too. Then you get to see the childish cop reaction, where it's like, okay, Now
some
you're
of
taking
them-
that too far.
Yeah, that's funny too.
The thing
and
boils
stuff
down
like
to it.
that.
I'm totally
Makes me
lost.
laugh.
The
It
thing
makes me
boils
laugh.
down
Off
to,
topic.
could they have handled it better? Could they have just called the
Yes.
store owner and gotten
Abs-
more information? I
Yes.
think that's what the most people are actually angry
Yes.
about. I don't think that people are more or less angry that the WPN was severed, because if you're acting, say I'm sponsored by Nintendo and then I go online and I just talk massive shit about like the newest Mario game, of course Nintendo's going to want nothing to do with me. But at the same
This
time,
is also signal boosted though by social justice warriors. There's a whole like cube that this is
and I think
involved
that
in.
I think that the social justice warriors trigger the anti-social justice warriors, and I think that
Okay.
they feed off of each other and trigger each other. I had this discussion with Tara yesterday about how a lot of these things, like the whole She-Ra thing, nobody would have known anything about that. Nobody would have known anything about that if people didn't go online and absolutely spurg about it. It would have been
No
one
one
of those
has
shows that
given a
popped up.
shit. No one has given a shit about She-Ra since 1986.
Tasty's here.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
Wearing
So I'm
Kylo
just
Ren
saying,
helmet.
like,
What is wrong with
are
you,
we?
man?
Are we?
I saw we were
feeding
wearing
that
masks.
by raging
Okay.
out against it?
If you're wearing a mask,
Hey, we all need our car spirit hats, by the way, just to throw that
I don't
out
know.
there.
I don't know if Cardsphere wants anything to do with this stream right now.
Card spirit hat.
I'm just saying, like in a sense, are we also feeding into their insecurities along with our own, and by constantly signal boosting the most ridiculous bullshit ever?
It's just
I feel like people should be picking and choosing their battles a little bit
Well,
more.
We're all
politics.
wasting our time with this.
Politics.
It's a complete waste of time. Nobody even knows how many issues Wizards had with this store before, and everybody just wants it to be like they
No, I
instantly
agree.
did it because of this, because that's sensational, and everyone can go out. Nobody has the full fucking story except those guys. But we're all gonna pretend like, no man, it was this. No man, it was this. Well, we don't fucking know.
No.
Yeah.
It's
Well, and I
politics.
think that leads to more of the core of the frustration than the actual act of them severing the WPN, because I feel like most of us feel like it was just handled poorly all around by all groups.
Yeah, because it didn't adhere to their policy. Policy.
I mean, if I may say something here, politics and business should just never mix.
No, it shouldn't. That's
What?
why
Politics and business go hand in hand.
Yeah,
What are
they
you
go
talking
hand
about?
in hand. Yeah, Tasty's right. They do go hand in hand. There's big corporate CEOs in there that are either left or right and vote for this person or that person. And if they
I mean,
have all the money,
did
they're
everyone forget about lobbyists? I mean, that's
Yeah.
what they
Yeah.
do.
Oh,
absolutely.
Lobbyists and citizens
corporations
united.
aren't people.
The problem
Sorry,
is
I'm
nothing can be discussed calmly anymore. We've reached the
Yeah.
point where calm discussions aren't had or
This
heard
is
by
true.
most people. Only
is
the
true.
loudest voices
Mhm.
and the craziest screeching voices about bullshit are the ones that are heard now. And so people have a choice of sitting there and being quiet and calm and rational, or screaming in the corner and actually getting attention.
I mean,
Well,
I try to
here's-
act calm and rational when bullshit happens, and the anger in me just wants to come in and just beat the tar out of something. But
Well, and I
Well,
guess
here's-
that comes into it, where in the sense that we don't, like Perp said, we don't really know exactly how many complaints were filed against the store. I mean, for all we know, there could be a million legitimate complaints filed, and this is just the camel that broke the straw. You know, the straw that broke the camel's back in that
Camel
sense. But
Well, look. Here's
pretty
here's the
much.
thing, though.
The camel that
ultimately.
broke the straw's back.
The-
That's
the
good.
ultimate point here is that he signed a deal with the devil. All right, he's the one who decided to sign that contract, and he knew that the people that he signed a deal with were going to be these political people who were going to dump him at a moment's notice for whatever reason, maybe multiple times, who knows, for something like this. Why would you bite the hand that feeds if you signed the contract? I think honestly it makes him more of the idiot than the other way around.
Well, maybe he was just getting tired of being pushed around and policed into doing what they were telling him to do. Maybe he just wanted to be outspoken and free, like most people that play Magic the Gathering want to be.
Yeah, well,
Wait, okay,
how are you
so
gonna
who are
be
we
outspoken?
Who are we talking about in specific right now? Just so I can.
The LGS owner.
The
Okay,
LGS
so before you get too far, I looked into a little bit myself, and I decided to look up WPN policies. So I was getting into a Twitter argument with someone else, and it says in the policy directly that you are not allowed to tamper with any Wizards stuff at all, like at all. And even if even if that Kekistan flag hadn't happened at all or anything, the fact that they defaced that poster in the first place is enough to even just axe them from the WPN. Like, we can talk. We can.
That sounds surprisingly wise. I wonder where I've heard that before.
Did you have to mace her?
Who vandalized that?
Did you have to mace her?
Was it the store owner?
It
Was
doesn't.
it employees?
In my
It doesn't matter who fucking did it because he was the store owner.
Yeah.
So whoever he employed
Should've
that
put it
did
down.
it, or whoever was there, he should have been paying attention. He's
Should've tore it down.
responsible. Ultimately.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
That's
and
responsibility.
and it
I
even
agree.
says in the thing, it even specifically states that he would have to have been warned at least once that if they couldn't
was on
contact
vacation.
him. Yeah, okay. Then he didn't have a phone on him. I mean, so
Yeah,
the
I mean,
odds.
I don't know.
The odds of them not trying to contact him whenever that report came out are pretty minimal, in my opinion, because of how effortless it is to make a phone call.
Why does everybody act like if a corporation has this policy and says, we will contact you, blah, 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 like that's also not fucking required. This is a UN, we need binding resolutions. Did you hear? Wizards of the Coast fucking said that their policy is this, but then they decided, you know what, screw it. We don't need to have a talk with them because there's a certain level of egregity where they just go, you know what, get fucked.
I think
Sorry,
it's-
you sent out what we said and you fucking wrote get
Yeah,
fucked on it. They
but
took
it's
the
also-
poster and wrote
yeah.
get fucked in direct violation.
But it's
There's
also
no way
paired.
around it, and they knew what they were
There's-
doing.
It's
Blatantly.
also paired with the downtrend of Magic the Gathering, the shitty card quality, the
So they're not going to get rid of stores. They want WPN members. So they're only
I
going to
know.
kick them out if they need to.
That's
they're not going
what-
to fucking do it for no reason.
That's the point.
That's
We're
my
talking
whole
about
point.
a store getting kicked off, and that's a money. That's someone suckling on a teat of Wizards of the Coast. If anybody's watched my videos,
Oh, it's mutually beneficial though. That's been my whole point with the tweet that I posted out. Is I think that, I mean, the buck always stocks with Wizards.
Yep.
I've had some chats back and forth with the store owner. I've watched even the latest video. The store owner wants to kind of paint this as a free speech issue. This is not a free speech issue whatsoever. It's not.
He's getting thousands and thousands of dollars to get like that. There's GoFundMe's. Of
I know.
course
Well,
he's
and I would say that's
$5
absolutely
grand.
fine. Is it fine to fund someone that didn't?
People can spend their money however they want.
Yeah,
I didn't
exactly.
say
That's why I
Wexford have a
wasn't.
GoFundMe. So that's
why
not
I
the
didn't get
point
on the
I'm
Wedge
making.
train. I didn't get on the let's crucify Wedge over the.
Yeah, man. People can spend their money however they want.
If you like the guy, spend money. I mean, it's your money. It's your. It's. Yeah. Again, so I'm not. If people want to donate to them, the more the merrier at this point. And I do tend to side with a lot of things he does say. I think that this was an overstep. I think it just makes no sense for Wizard. I think the bad publicity is far worse than.
Is it though? Hold on though. Let me just throw something out here just in the middle, just to give you an idea, and we'll see if you think the same thing. Is it really not worth the bad publicity when in one fell swoop they can basically neuter a good chunk of Jeremy's Twitter voice, which is a place they spend a lot of time at? I looked at their last couple of posts earlier today. Kekistan Blake, all this shit. You know what I mean? Like hardcore. So is this just a, hey, let's do a bloodletting? Because in a way, what they've done now is the next time he wants to send the Wang mob over, it's like, well, his Wang is a lot smaller now, isn't it? Like if they've just shown like, fuck it, like cut the cells of his dick out, make his dick smaller cell by cell. Every Twitter follower is a smaller dick to bludgeon.
Well, the thing is, this wouldn't even have to happen. That even wouldn't have happened. The whole Jeremy, calling the army thing wouldn't have happened to happen. Back in November, I still have the transcript between me and some people from like Gathering Magic and other people I talked to saying, you are handing this to Jeremy on a silver platter. You are creating a monster that does not need to exist. If someone with Wizard of the Coast, back during the Trick Jarrett debacle, would have just called him up and said, hey, we used to give you promos, but we can't be giving you promos if you keep doing this sort of thing. Maybe at that point, right then and there, I think the person that has it right more than anything, and man, this is going to kill me saying this out of my mouth. Oh, geez, here I go. Rudy. Whew. Rudy was right about something.
Yeah,
Rudy says if he was with the Coast, he would have every one of these large YouTubers' personal phone numbers. He would have a direct line of communication right to them. And say, okay, we're having an issue here, and there's obviously some disconnect between us. Let's work it out. But my experience with Wizards has never never once reached out to me about anything. They've threatened my sponsors. They've threatened my business partner. They've gone out of their way to get at me. And it's like the childish way they do things is just, it makes no sense.
I think they also forget the fact that people have short memories on the internet. If they would just ignore the situation, all the people screeching on both sides,
yes,
find something else to move on to.
That is my point.
And
Who cares?
They shouldn't knee-jerk react to things. And not only that, but I feel like Wizards has so many other problems. It's like putting expensive rims on your grandma's Oldsmobile. Like, it's still a piece of shit. You can put $4,000 rims on it, but the engine's about ready to explode.
Oh my god, that's the best explanation I've heard all night.
I mean, I just feel like they're worrying about the smallest shit when they should just move on and keep doing their little promotional tweets and, hey, isn't this card cool? And hey, check out this person, this artist. They should just ignore screeching from both sides and just move on and sell shit.
But ultimately, I mean, at the end of the day, though, irrelevant of what we think they should and shouldn't do, this strictly was a specific policy. This is how it is, and he violated it. Like, this is
go read that WPN, Vlad. Every one of us stores have violated something at one point in time.
That's true. I'm not saying that they're not going to pick and choose.
It's a violation. Man,
I'm not saying
that a long time ago.
I'm not saying they're not going to pick and choose. Of course they are. They always do.
It's the nature of the violation as well. Let's be honest. This is literally a poster they sent out to show, hey, look, we're paying attention to the pedophile
They should have never.
That's what it was.
They should have never sent that poster out to begin with.
That's not that. No, hold on. No. That's not a valid fucking response to they got sent WPN materials and turned it into a fuck you. You can't go, Wizards just shouldn't have sent it out. That's that's totally just waving it away. Everybody is responsible for their actions. Wizards of the Coast sent out this fucking retarded poster, and like a bunch of stores that I know all those stores were like, I ain't hanging this shit. But none of them went, hey, fuck you, Wizards of the Coast. Get fucked. Thanks a lot. I see all the shit that Wizards sends out for free. We talk a lot of shit about them, but the WPN has a lot of fucking good shit for it. That random dinosaur event was amazing. They fucking try. They keep switching up the promos. They may be stupid, but they fucking try with the WPN. And then these fucking entitled idiots come along and go, I expect to be able to get to do whatever I want with the shit you send to my store, and fuck you if you don't like it. I'm going to send a hate mob to your door. Fuck you. How is that how a professional businessman acts? You want to run a store, talk about having a family to take care of, First Amendment right. It's my First Amendment right to mark up this WPN poster. Can you believe a corporation doesn't want to deal with a fucking entitled child? I sure can. I wouldn't tolerate it for a fucking second. Not a fucking second. I'd be on the phone. I wouldn't just immediately kick him out. I'd be on the phone going, hey, asshole, that was your one fuck up. Now you do a public apology or you're fucking done. That's how I would roll.
Again, though, does it make sense for Wizards? Here's the thing. I can, as a store owner, there's probably plenty of people I can kick out of my store that I don't like and that break my rules and things like that. But there's consequences for all of that. And me again, a lot of times I have to put on my big boy pants and do the big boy thing and realize that I just got to, take a breath and shrug it off.
Like the store owner should have done with the poster instead of marking it up. I agree. We're in 100% agreement. He should have done what you did and be a fucking responsible adult. But he chose not to, right? He wasn't capable of doing that. Him. Not like Wizards, everybody would be able to tear Wizards apart if it was just the Kekistan flag. They would be able to eviscerate them over this. Eviscerate them. But nope, because Smarty McSmartenstein had to go, this is my fucking store, and I'm going to do this on my walls. Well, you're right. It's your store. Do you know how much money Wizards, do you know how much money it costs Wizards to have a WPN member? Or does everybody go, no, it just makes them money? Really? Making a bunch of extra shit to send stores makes them fucking money? Sending it out for FNMs for free? All that shit makes them money? Oh, but it doesn't increase. It doesn't directly make them money. It costs them. So if they think the store is negatively representing them in a massive fashion and spitting in their fucking face, I gave you a gift, motherfucker. I gave you a gift to help us and you spit in
No.
my face because you didn't like it.
No, they just
That's
they
what
didn't,
that
they
is.
didn't want to be
WPN status is a
didn't wanna
gift.
be
You don't have to use the whole fucking thing.
included with the politics of the alt-right and the Pepe the Mean
You
Frog.
can leave the fucking the
But
Pepe
that's what
shit.
it was. That's
No,
what
what
It
it
doesn't
is.
matter. It doesn't matter what it
And you
is.
can't prove it. You can't prove it because of the poster. Nobody can prove anything now because of
So
the
why did they block all the people that were posting Kekistan
Because
flags?
they're
then?
fucking kids who aren't there to have a constructive conversation.
Deeper than
The
that,
same reason
bro.
I block people on my YouTube
It's
channel.
deeper than
I
that,
block
bro.
kids. No, it's not.
deeper than that.
We have to
Yeah,
know
it is.
ways of Kekistan.
Yeah.
Dude, if it was that way, then why when everybody was coming over with MTG trash going, Wizards, your cards are shit, fuck you. Even saying that kind
Because
of
it
stuff.
had nothing to do with politics. It had nothing to do with Kekistan.
Because it had some weight to it and merit. It wasn't about some stupid childish meme where fucking fully grown adults are throwing tantrums going, I get to share whatever picture I want and do whatever I
Thank
want.
you.
That's what it is. This Kekistan shit is the most childish shit, and the people defending it are infantile to the extreme. And it's so fucking obvious.
I don't defend.
It's a kid's meme. It's a kid's fucking meme. And it's like running around going, Charlie Brown is serious, bro. Charlie Brown is serious. I'm going to say Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he got banned for Charlie Brown. Charlie Browners assemble. Everybody send 100 Charlie Brown pictures. Oh my God, they're banning Charlie Brown.
But
Get
if
over
Charlie
yourself, you're
Brown,
fucking kids.
Charlie
You're
Brown
fucking
was
stupid.
attached
Who would take a
racist.
group like that seriously? I would ban you in a second
Dude.
on my channel. You're being retarded.
Dude, you are almost as purple as your fucking hair, dude. Holy shit.
Stupid, man.
I'm
It's so
totally
fucking
sending
dumb.
Wilson the
You're
picture
dealing
of
with
Charlie
stupid
Brown
entitled
now,
children
doing it.
who go, I want to fucking throw a tantrum, and I expect you to back it up. Fifth Amendment rights. Say whatever I want. If I can't come and screech in your face, I'm being a threat. I should be able to send you a picture of my fucking dick. And if I can't, you're oppressing my speech. Everybody send their pictures of dicks to Wizards of the Coast because I don't like the new borders on the cards. Jesus Christ.
Look. Okay.
Stand flag up in your store. You're asking for like you're
Go
picking people off.
I want
on
to fucking
purpose.
aim up in your store.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Let's hypothetically think that it's deeper than that. Let's think that they're actually just hypothetically politically against the whole Kekistan meme thing. All right. Why would you put that in your store?
Yeah, but either way, it's infantile. You don't even understand. Even at the root, let's say there's some
Oh,
fucking
no, I
people
understand.
there who are like, oh my God, it's a Nazi flag. It doesn't change that it's still them going, Charlie Brown's a Nazi. Charlie Brown's a Nazi. There's people in the building over there going, Charlie Brown's a Nazi, and you're getting upset about it. What's the matter with you? What is wrong with you? Get a fucking new hobby. Get extra hobbies. Take care of your kid. It's a fucking meme. It's a flag. Grow the fuck up. If you want to accomplish anything, stop this shit. We could have done something. This MTG trash shit proved it. And it's getting pissed into the ground by idiots who want to fucking meme Charlie Brown. So the next time we want to do something that matters, good job. Half you fucking idiots have no voice. I'm glad you silenced yourself because you're not smart enough to have a voice. They shouldn't have to hear you. You're a fucking detriment to our cause. Get fucked.
What do you mean? I'm on the same fucking boat as you.
Yeah.
I actually fucking agree with you.
Safe.
We're muting everyone.
Okay. We need to get this back on track a little bit.
Okay, so first of all, I'm going to interject before, and I'll unmute everyone here in a second. So I am with Purple a little bit.
Did you just mute yourself?
He did.
I just muted myself. I guess I don't get to talk either. All right.
Awesome.
So anyway, let's look at the bannings, the most recent bannings real quick. So we have Store of Fire and Dice. Okay, deface the WPN poster. I guess to me that's the most innocuous one out of it. We have Travis Wu. That one is a bit rough. I don't think that Travis Wu should have got the hit for it, but I can see their line of thought where it's very specific, highly up members of the female community, which is already a sensitive subject, were in a post that was, not very good, even though it was a private post. We had Crackgate, who was it was at a Grand Prix taking pictures of people's butt cracks. And we had Jeremy that was harassing, or quote unquote harassing a cosplayer. So I think I'm with Purple a little bit on the aspect that the Wizards hasn't done anything. They didn't have absolute justifiable reasons to do so. I will still say that I'm under the camp that maybe Wizards of the Coast should learn how to, what does Taylor Swift say? Shake it off. Is that how the kids, is that the song that you guys listen to?
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Anyway.
So anyway, we haven't heard from Coach for a while. Can I unmute her? Actually, Arya's going to put us back on topic. Arya, you're going to take over and say what we can talk about. Then I'll unmute everyone.
I was gonna say, could I introduce myself?
Yeah, he's been here for like 45 minutes and no one knows who he is.
Jesus Christ, all you Spurgs just yelling over each other. Good fucking God. Anyways, for all of you people that don't know, my name is Tasty Snackies. I make deck techs on this channel. Well, I used to a few months ago. I don't know if I do anymore.
You are a shit posting boy.
I am a shit poster. I like to rattle the cages a little bit, not as intensely as Jeremy does, but to go way back to what you guys were talking about at the beginning of the stream, why y'all play Magic. So I started back in Kamigawa, and I didn't really have that many friends to play with. And TLDR, just to get to the point, since we're so far in the stream, I play mostly for friends as a social, or as a conduit to be more social. And like Purple had mentioned earlier in the stream, if you go to like your LGS or anything outside of internet culture and Twitter sphere culture, all this drama shit, this doesn't exist. Like, this is all just circle jerking at this point. Like, ultimately, with the whole like unsleeved media and the store of fire and dice and this flavor of the week contentious hot topic thing. Not to be like just to, I don't know, brush off what everyone's arguing about. It seems really moot and kind of pointless to me. I don't know, in my opinion. I just feel like we're getting all a huff and puff about nothing, really. I don't know. It just seems moot,
Well,
like I mentioned earlier.
Well, it's like, to me, it's like the new norm, and like what people like doing is yelling at each other and complaining. I mean, that's what gets people off nowadays. It's like no one can have a civil conversation. It's just like people want to bring out the negativity because that's like the new thing now. It's like nobody could have a decent conversation. Nobody could be civil with each other. Nobody could have a decent argument. If nobody could like disagree with each other without blowing it out of proportion. It's like it's just getting out of, it's just getting ridiculous, and it's just insane what we have come to at this point in time. We're supposed to be more inclusive, and yet everyone who's promoting, being inclusive I feel like their actions are doing the opposite. And it's so frustrating and infuriating at points. And I'm sure y'all feel the same way too, that it's just like, people are contradicting themselves in a lot of ways.
Right. Like it's fine enough when you like have commentary on it and you want to discuss it or whatever, but to get at the levels that these people are getting at recently, where just vitriol on every side, no matter who it's coming from, it seems like everyone's just trying to vie for each other's attention just by screaming the loudest. And I don't fucking understand why people need to do this. Not since we've already brought up unsleeved media 1,000 times already tonight. He's the perfect example. Go look at his channel. Go look at his channel right now. That isn't a video that is focused around opening cards, which is like maybe once every 2 months now at this point. It's always some nearly in all caps clickbaity way to get you to watch the video. And that's fine to make content just for content's sake and to continuously pump out videos for people to watch and consume. That's fine. However, if you are pushing this narrative, and I'm not saying this lightly because he is pushing this narrative ever since the banning of him from like in November. He's been like in this fuck Watsy kind of mood, and it's obvious it started with the whole pedo judge thing, and it's only snowballed from there, and it gets to the point where he's highlighting certain Wizards employees and he's just like attacking them from their own look, just like, oh, it's purple hair and fucking SJW bullshit. Like Pierre used to be a white kid and now he's black. Fucking, I can't believe Wizards of the Coast is hating white people. Like at a certain point, like I don't understand why people haven't wisened up to the fact that this is all meticulously designed to get people angry. right? This is like almost like a Fox News version of Magic the Gathering, and
Yeah.
it's fucking horseshit. And I can't believe like people just aren't. Maybe they are aware of this, but they're just watching for the entertainment value. I don't know.
Well, I don't always agree with Jeremy, and oftentimes I actually disagree. But I do agree that he is doing the Alex Jones approach. The more you can outrage, the more he can rally up troops. The more people are going to watch his videos. I mean, the guy is he has a master's in marketing and business. He knows exactly how to play the market. He knows exactly how to play with people's emotions, and he is pissed. And rightfully so, wrongfully so. I agree, somewhat rightfully so. But
He's rightfully so because he's angry because Wizards of the Coast shit on one of his 30,000 YouTube channels. Like boo fucking who? He can go run his quartering channel. He can go run his claw machine channel. He can go run Pokemon headquarters. Me versus me. There's literally 1,000 other things that he could be doing better with this time, and he is, especially with the quartering, and he's getting so much more ground. But no, he'd rather just stay here in the Magic community and be a fucking thorn in almost everyone's side. I don't get it.
Can you honestly blame him though, Tasty? I mean, again, this is where I'll be very, very transparent. Jeremy is one of my closest friends as far as YouTube is concerned.
I'm hurt, Kevin. You're awful,
Coach,
man.
you're one of my
I've been on his show a few times.
Man, I just got bumped down from 1 to like 5 in like a heartbeat.
You're still number one in my heart.
Oh,
Anyways, you were saying, Kevin.
As far as the person I've known the longest, it's definitely Jeremy, and it's kind of like you can't really love someone until you hated them first. I kind of switched the Logan Nine Fingers quote. You can't really hate someone unless you loved them first. Everyone should go read Joe Abercrombie's fiction. That's on your to-do list. Joe Abercrombie.
It's our homework.
We see a fucking homework assignment?
Yes, you have to go read Joe Abercrombie.
No,
one of his characters.
I don't know how to read.
Line that he always says: you can't ever love someone unless you or hate someone unless you love them first. So Jeremy and I had a very, very rough and go early on, and he was a massive prick early on. And I went to in fact, that's how I got to know like Clarendon Community College and Wedge is through our mutual hatred for Jeremy. That's exactly how I got in the in-group. Is not really what we did for each other, but our mutual hatred for Jeremy. And this was 3 years ago or whatnot. And then, of course, when the hate mobs turned on me for doing the more hostility in the Magic the Gathering community, where I said that I don't think that males get treated fairly in today's society. Oh my God, I was a new enemy. I was a new person that they needed to get deplatformed and go to my sponsors and try to get my fellow YouTubers to hate me. And then some of them actually did end up doing that. Jeremy actually had my back after that, and he didn't need to. And so I think I'm a little bit biased when it comes to Jeremy, and I can't help but feel for him that was he doing things that are distasteful? Yeah. But I mean, don't like edgy boys have a right to exist too? Are you saying they can't make YouTube content?
Jeremy's always been that kind of guy.
No, you can make YouTube content, and he's been making YouTube content for 5 years? Well, MTG YouTube content since 2013. But it becomes very obvious and very apparent when you see someone take advantage of their situation and just ride that wave until, I don't know, people stop watching. And that's what's currently happening right now. And it's working for him. His channel is growing in spades. If you look,
who gave that to him?
Sure, Wizards of the Coast gave that to him
on a silver platter, just like I warned them all. One of these days I'm going to release that transcript.
Okay, Kevin, if I gave you a turd that I just shat out with sprinkles on it, would you eat it and then get mad about it and make videos about it?
I would.
If it get views.
What do you mean? They didn't give him a turd. He made what's the old saying? He made lemonade out of lemons.
Well, they took away the only thing that.
Yeah. Also, by your analogy, they would be force feeding him that shit, right? The banning wasn't his choice, so they would have shoved that shit in his mouth, and you're saying he should take that and walk away. So by your own analogy, that's terrible, dude.
I mean,
I never said I made any good analogies.
You eat that poop. You put that poop in your mouth.
We don't talk about the Dank Brigade.
Sorry, guys. Can I just say something real quick here? Sorry for monopolizing the chat by getting so passionate that I moved into angry. I didn't mean to.
I said you were.
I wasn't angry at that point, and I proved it just.
Speaking of Monopoly, I'd like to give the floor to Mr. Magic Man. He wanted to contribute something here.
even before the whole November drama shit, I didn't know nothing about him being this horrible human being. Really, even if you didn't like, did I hear someone's television?
I think it's Vlad. It's probably his kid.
I got it for you. I'll unmute you, Vlad, when you're back.
I mean, the only reason why I still support him is that he's telling how it is. You kill Alex Jones, I don't care. Someone probably can shitpost fucking Jeremy's face on Alex Jones' body. I probably laugh my ass off of it. Casey, you're here. You're a shitposter. Do it. Do it for me.
Do what?
I ask you.
He's not even paying attention.
It's not his turn to talk. He's not fucking listening.
Oh, no.
I was in the middle of reading the chat when you said that. What's going on? Shit posting? What?
Get it, Alex Jones picture. It's got Jeremy's face on it.
That shouldn't be hard. That shouldn't be too hard to do.
No, that's not too hard. I could just take like an Alex Jones clip and throw Jeremy's face on it and just animate it and just throw some like Jeremy quotes.
He's gonna be so mad. It's gonna
anyway. I call Jeremy Alex Jones, but at the same time, Jeremy is the type of person where he's caught in between having a really good message and being a really, really good guy and carrying out his own personal vendetta. Because when the chips are down, Jeremy's that kind of guy that will back you up if he thinks that you're being wrong, and he'll signal boost it and he'll give you support. But then he also has the, that passion and somewhat immaturity side where he takes it too far and uses it as a gun to bludgeon somebody else to death with.
Oh, yeah, totally. If anyone remembers last year, God, it had to have been last August, he made a series of videos on another pack opening YouTube channel called, Bad Boy MTG. Does anyone remember this?
Yeah, Bad Boy's kind of cool.
So he made a series of videos shitting on this guy because he had found through some totally legit sources that he was faking his repack videos, right? And it managed to gain ground and it put this person's name in a bad light. But however, did anyone take the opportunity to double check this to see if it was even a legit correct thing? This was before Sprinklegate, by the way. Did anyone look into it to see if this person was actually faking their repack videos?
I don't know. I'm lost on this one. I play Magic because I like the smell of the cards.
I do remember that.
When people say that Jeremy is a good guy and he's trying to stamp and do good things for good people, sure, that may be true to a certain extent. However, whenever he needs to make a video for views and in order to get attention, he's going to vie for aiming against this person who he didn't even have enough evidence because, and the reason why I bring this up is because I was talking to that person who forwarded him that information and had told me that they faked that and they faked the screenshots and they showed me the entire process of them doing it.
Maybe he was trying to cheat on his wife with Christine Sprankle. We don't even know.
That hot.
Well, okay, so people are trying to say like Jeremy's a good guy and he's trying to do these good things or whatever, but he's just a dude making videos. He's not a good guy. He's not a bad guy. He's just like all of us and he's just making videos. And yeah, he's a fucking idiot sometimes. Guess what? So are we.
We're all
guilty.
Yeah, we're all dumb in some sort of light. Like we all have our aspects where we just flourish, but there is something that I guarantee you we're all stupid in some sort of way.
Screw you guys! I went on a mission.
Great
discussion.
And so my point is that people are taking this thing so seriously and like he made a video a couple days ago where he was talking about this whole store thing and he said in the video like it's time to suit up for battle or some super fucking cringy shit like that. Like who are we kidding ourselves at this point, really? Like with this kind of shit?
It's the MTG Goldfish. It's the Tolarian Community College. It's all these vanilla, softy snowflakes versus the rough and tough old school Magics. That's what I said. Wizards of the Coast doesn't know where to put their eggs in their basket.
But why does it have to be like that, though? Why
does
it have
that's
to
his
be
job.
side
That's his
versus-
MO.
Okay, can I say something about this?
Go for it.
Every time there's some sort of new controversy, I get the feel like who remembers that big lie or so-called lie that from Hasbro CEO saying Magic has doubled down in the past couple of years or so or risen up. Because I get the feeling Hasbro is on whatever side this is, and they probably intentionally lied. They're wanting to get rid of Wizards because they are probably getting sick of the shit that's going on there. Because there is a rumor being spread that I don't know why I'm calling Mark Rose with the hand thing, that they're going to get rid of Wizards of the Coast, but I get the feeling there's a bigger picture. They're going to sell Wizards off, but they're going to keep Magic because that's one of their partner brands. You saw fucking Hasbro chart in the last few months. It's part of their partner brands.
Well, that's been that rumor for a while. Even Rudy's mentioned it, where they've been trying to shop around the IP and see if they can dump it. But I don't know how much credibility that lies to, but I don't know. I just think that once, back to the core is, Jeremy does a lot of, sensational things for sensational sake. But he also does a lot of good things. And like everybody said, nobody's perfect. Nobody's expecting anybody to be perfect here.
But you also don't see a bunch of people on a live stream arguing over each other about Monopoly, which also comes from Hasbro. So it could be a risk.
But
so I think the funny thing about Hasbro, go look at their Twitter. They don't even mention Magic. They mention My Little Pony.
I was about to say My Little Pony and Transformers makes so much more fucking money.
I hear Magic. No, I think Magic is their
the money. I mean, I did a shameless self-plug, but I did a video update on me getting blocked by Wizards. By the way, okay, I compared transfers quality control issues with getting a random transfer figure I own, and that Bumblebee figure is infamous for breaking on the back piece. It didn't on me in that video, so my evidence is proven false. It looks like, but I had a good comparison with the whole theory with them selling Wizards. I think there could be an up-and-coming card company that Hasbro's interested in. They're gonna can't talk to shit. Okay. I guess focus. They're gonna give Magic to these. I get nervous too quick with shit.
Okay. It's okay.
There's another company they're gonna give it to. Well, I don't know. But I think we're getting off on the deep end of talking about other stuff that I don't want to talk into about.
I'm sorry.
Hasbro selling stuff, and again, those are all regular business decisions that happen every day of who acquires who, and we can talk about I don't want to call them conspiracies, but we can talk about the ifs of what happens if Hasbro sells this. What happens if the thing is that it has to if we're worried about a cultural change, it has to go beyond just selling a company, because usually when you sell a company, you keep the infrastructure. You change names, you just put on a different T-shirt.
Acquisition.
If we're going back to the whole what you were talking about with the ideologies versus ideologies, I don't think it's quite as black and white as the Jeremy crowd versus the SJW crowd. I don't think that's it. I think there's a little bit of us in everything. In fact,
there's
I'm
a
pretty
lot
much
of gray
the middle
area
of the rotor, and I kind of take. I'm okay to say take a little bit of offense, but with MTG Goldfish getting drug into this one, I actually think I'm in the set did nothing wrong category.
Yeah, same.
I think the identity politics is literally 10% of the actual population of people that play the game. I think that this is a giant, nothing burger compared to the majority of people that are actually playing the game.
Well, again,
whoever runs their multimedia company on, whoever they hired to run their PR online, is probably the ones that are dicking about and are trying to inject identity politics. But I think the majority of the people playing the game and making the game are just, it's a job and we're the players, and most of the people don't really care about this shit.
Have you ever heard of the rule of tens though, or the rule of twos, or the rule of, what's the rule where,
the rule of three?
Rule
the celebrities die at the same time?
The people that do all the work, control all, or what is it, like 5% of people do all the work? It's a
the Pareto distribution.
There we go.
Pareto.
It's kind of like that though. That's exactly where the Magic community.
I would just prefer Magic saying Magic. No identity politics. No, ugly black women or breastless ugly women. I would just want Magic to stay Magic. I don't want.
Of course, everyone's gonna have a different idea of what that is. So again, before we get off to, I think there's a lot of people that have their own personal anecdotes, their personal vision, and that's just not realistic to try to inject what you think is Magic onto the entire community. And that's exactly what I'm trying to say.
Magic the Gathering is a card game.
That's what it
Well,
should
yeah.
say, but
But that's the thing, though. Magic the Gathering is a card game to a lot of people. It's just to the very few 5% like us. It's way more than that.
It's a lifestyle. It's
Well, yeah, there'll be a culture that surrounds it. Every gaming culture, and that's actually a part of a robust side of like a robust game. And I think that's why a lot of us. I mean, back to the whole question of why we play Magic. Magic is not my favorite game. It has never been my favorite game. It probably never will be my favorite game.
Sorry.
Your favorite game's Roblox.
My Magic has stuck around with me the longest, and it's mainly because of the camaraderie. It's mainly because of the local game stores. It's mainly because of the friends that I've made, and the people I've acquainted with. It's the tournaments. It's that kind of thing. I have never gone to a Dota convention. I never went to a World of Warcraft meetup. I never cared. What other games have I been into? Even StarCraft is probably the game I got the most into, the most serious into, but it was still like nothing compared to the people I've met and just the community that I've been a part of with Magic the Gathering. And that's where I think that a lot of us need to be more aware of, not just on the Wizard side, on the outrage culture side, but also on our side. I've been very disappointed by a lot of people that have, like Purple said earlier, just gone off the deep end to attack Wizards for ridiculous. Wizards tries to put out a post of their upcoming core set event coming up, and people are just going to spam them so that no one can actually comment back. That's not productive. To throw Seth under the bridge because he posted, I'm pretty sure it's just kids that defaced the sign, and then people showed him the keg signs. Like, well, maybe not. Maybe it was the store, and then all of a sudden, that's the
rallying cry.
The rallying cry. I know
That's where we start calling Saffron Olive a coward.
Yeah, exactly. It's everyone needs to
chill out.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone needs to go back a little bit.
I have a question. Can I have a question? Do you guys all remember the first booster pack you ever opened?
Yes.
Yeah, I do.
Dark Steel. When I was a kid, I thought when I bought my first pack of Magic the Gathering cards, I thought they were magic cards. Like, I thought I could do magic with them. Like, I could be a magician. And this was in beta era when I was like this small. So we all have a common ground. We all share something. But the problem is when something is attacked or when something, when the feelers go up and something is destroyed and we all get that mother nest in us, that nurturing, that nature, people, the only thing is to do is to fight, is to, a fight or flight kind of nature. So I just believe that in this, for instance, for this, the store getting banned, it's that home base getting attacked, so people are just trying to protect it.
And that's kind of the big reason why it's blown up so much, is because it's some group of people's
everybody's story. Everybody's story. Everybody has a Magic the Gathering story. Everybody's coming to this community, I guess. But, as we also said, which Tasty said, I don't know if Tasty was here yet, but he made a good point about how the people that play Magic in the store have no idea what the fuck we're even talking about. They probably don't even have a Twitter account. So you're kind of meshing, an old school classic Magic. Perp said it. Sure. You're mixing an old school classic nostalgic game versus a new wave 2018 left versus right. It's just it's a whirlwind.
I just get sick of the whole identity politics in general.
It's there, man. You can't deny that it's not there. It's there. You can see it.
And it goes way beyond Wizards.
I'm sorry for talking over some of you, but did I get muted?
Nope.
No, not yet.
But we can change that.
I'm just getting sick of, I hear people just ignore it. I'm like, no, we can't ignore because it's right in front of us.
Yeah, ignore a tumor and watch it go away.
I'm going to address this one last time, and I think we can be over that point of it because we keep going back to this dead horse with it. Yeah, I hate it too. My brother showed me again in his little rock climbing. He's a rock climber, and his rock climbing magazine again was 10 ways you can make women more comfortable in rock climbing. And it was all this ridiculous reasons that it's like, are you kidding
Sounds
me?
Awesome, bro.
Are you kidding me? Who do these people think they are that they expect this special treatment? It's like you're not even allowed to talk to them anymore.
Yeah.
Because if talking to them, that's just like you must have ulterior motives. Otherwise, just let him climb. That's the base of the entire article is like, just let him climb, just let him climb, just let him climb. And it was the stupidest thing though, because then if we do just let him climb, then they're going to whine that we're not inclusive or not involving them or not, type thing. So I get it. I don't like the whole identity politics. I don't like being told that I'm a toxic person. I don't like being, a lot of things. But anyway, I think that's. I want to move on past that topic. I think we keep getting thrown back into it. So I'm going to get some.
It is a pretty
questions.
reductive conversation.
I'm going to get some questions here. We'll start with El Cardboard. Is the absolute MTG guy still around? Didn't he the whole drama with Jeremy start with him? I've talked about this before. Yes, that's how it started. It was over some lewd proxies that Abu Games was putting out, and MTG Lion did a video on it saying that it was like cringy. And then Absolute MTG sent his minions after MTG Lion, and then Jeremy went to bat for MTG Lion. Well, it got kind of bad. They hacked MTG Lion's account, chased him off the internet. It got bad, and we did find that it was coming from Absolute MTG. There was a lot of private conversations that were exposed. That was a long time ago. So yes, that's how it started. There's more videos out there in the past of exactly. I don't know if he's still around these days or not. I think his channel is.
He's active on Twitter, but that's about it.
Yeah.
That in and of itself is cringy as fuck.
And Absolute MTG came back around in the picture. That was the big issue again with the first breakup of the Facebook page, the Facebook page group that we were all a part of, is when they wanted to invite a lot of the newcomers that had no issue with Absolute MTG, like Wedge, Clarendon Community College, Sam, who else was part of it, saying, hey, this Absolute MTG creates some good content, can we invite him? And that's where Jeremy literally flipped his shit and said, if you get him in, I'll start a civil war. And true to Jeremy's nature, he started a civil war, and that's where we broke right there. And in fact, that's how I got to know Wedge and Tulane Community College, is because Jeremy was like, everyone's too afraid of me, no one will stand up to me, and I was the only one that would stand up to him. And again, that's how the friendship started blossoming between Tulane Community College and Wedge. Before then, I made the More Hostility to Magic the Gathering video, which they found to be the most offensive video of all times, and cut their ties with me. And of course, I take friendships very seriously, and I thought that was a very ridiculous reason, and that's why I've kind of had it out for both of them. There's a long story short about the drama with how I'm all involved.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to say, but like, I don't know about y'all, but to me, Wedge just rubs me the wrong way as far as like his just overall message to everyone. It's just
greasy, man.
Mind if I contribute your card, if I may?
Let's go on to contribute a lot lately for the last bit here. Let Coach finish his.
Get me out here because I get a little too related here.
Yeah, but it's just like with Wedge, it's just like, and me and Kevin have talked about this when we like the first time we talked. That first 2-hour conversation where we figured out we're pretty much the same person in just different places. You hate
anime too?
Huh?
You hate anime too?
I mean,
most of it.
Kevin, we're still friends here.
It's a stable camera.
But it's the way he like portrays himself is just, it just seems like he's like better than everyone, and he just likes.
Well, I have private messages and screenshots. So the rabbit hole goes a lot deeper than people know. The guy used to when Tulane Community College started to pass him up, he had a panic attack, and he actually called a lot of his buddies together, and they were trying to figure out ways how to sabotage Tulane Community College from growing. And this is a true story, and he'll deny it until he's blue in the face.
That is a sexy sign.
That is a great background image.
Yeah, put it back there. Keep going. Yes, baby, show it all.
That's pretty good.
He's gone rogue on the chat.
So everyone here is Zach, the most underappreciated person in the world. The person that we just that you got to know something about my personality. I always have to have someone to crap on. Fatal Aria can definitely attest to that. Zach is my personal dumpster. That's not the right word.
If you go missing, you know why.
Let's call Zach my partner to someone, and it definitely sent the wrong message when I met business partner.
Gay lover.
My
Zach is gay, so yes.
That made for an awkward conversation once.
That's
I
weird.
Introduced him to it was my family. Who did I introduce? This is my partner, Zach.
It was on your Lake Powell trip.
Funny.
Your whole family.
Oh, it wasn't. Yeah, that was. But anyway, so everyone, shout out to Zach. This is a beautiful sign. He does a lot of work.
Oh, that's badass.
Yeah.
I definitely need to get my act together because he definitely is making some awesome things here. But anyway. What was I even going with Wedge?
You're talking about
I don't want to get too far into Wedge. I've kind of buried the hatchet with Wedge. I don't want to start any more crap with the guy. The guy is always he's a mess as a person. I personally have had to talk him down from a cliff before, and that's another reason why I feel so like I don't want to involve myself at all with the guy because of how quickly he can turn on you. Where I felt that once you go to a I value friendship over everything. Politics, petty feuds, things like that should never, in my opinion, get between friendship. And I think that we're at that level. And then again, that video, I don't even know if it was that video that I made that was the ultimate thing that broke the straw's back, but everything changed after that. And I think that a lot of the hostility is more on my end than it is on his end. So let's just put out that up for their transparency. But I'm with you on that subject. The guy is just, he's sad. Yeah. And at this point, I'm just going to leave him out of stuff. It's not the end of the story. I'm sure there will be more dramas in the future. But it was like I said, that story with Torrey Community College, he was panic mode that someone was going to pass him up and he wasn't going to be the top YouTuber anymore. And then I think he just finally decided that, well, if I can't beat him, join him. And that's when they became friends. And, the story for another day. But I mean, I had a lot of conversations with Brian at the time. We used to be friends about how, he was just, keep his enemies close because he didn't know when this guy was going to go off the rail the next time. So
he's the type of guy that's going to burn any bridge for his own.
And it became a very, very mutual beneficial relationship between the two and whatnot. And then it does help too when you do pair ideologically, at least. And of course that it's the more acceptable ideology in the greater, the in club at YouTube. So anyway, let's move on from the wedge, unless you wanted to finish something, Coach, and we'll get everyone else back in here to talk, and maybe you can answer some questions. But yeah, let's move.
Well, to me, it's just like I don't think it really matters, who you're friends with, because we're all going to come from different places, different ideologies. We're going to agree to disagree to some issues. It's just how, even if you don't like someone, you should respect them, and you should respect them as a person, because if life were to where everyone were to agree on the same page, it'd be boring as hell. So, but I'm glad that we, because me and Kevin, me and Tacey, Nizahone, I know right now Kevin doesn't like Nizahone right now, but we all have our agreements and disagreements. I disagree more with probably Nizahone than probably anyone, but we have common ground, and that's what we build our relationship on. And to take out with a relationships and friendships, you want to build more on that positivity than ever, because you gotta be real with people also. The one thing I don't like is being lied to and being lied to my face. That's the one thing I cannot stand, is being lied to my face. I'd rather you be straight up with me, and I don't care if my feelings are hurt. I'd rather know the truth.
Me too.
Amen, brother.
And that's how it needs to. That's how things need to be approached in my view. So, but but honestly, he just rubs me the wrong way. He likes projecting himself, and he, in a way, it's like I think he's lying to people, and I think he's kind of two-faced. That's how I see him. Not saying that's probably true or anything. That's just how I look at him. A lot of the times. So, I mean, but that's really all I have to say about Wedge. So,
all right, I'm going to get to another question here. So let's see. What do I think about Jeremy getting banned from Patreon? That's absolutely ludicrous. I don't think that he pushed. Again, Patreon's a really weird place right now, because it does seem to cave to one side of the outrage culture, where known Antifa people can definitely hold their own Patreons and not get punished. But again, that's another podcast on the day. We're going to skip that one. All right, so there was one about cardstock quality. Let me address that really quickly. Legendary Mana, I am never been on the cardstock quality bandwagon too heavy, because I think that is a very, very tough issue. I think the biggest issue with cardstock is they started in 1993 with crappy cardstock, and it's hard for them to get away with it without massive issues of, is this counterfeit, is this not counterfeit? The one thing you can say that Wizards has done a good job is somehow being able to get into 2018 without something perfectly being able to counterfeit, which is surprising, especially when that kind of card stick existed in 1993. It must be a pain in the ass for Wizards to even find that card stock right now. let alone figure out a way to come up with a new improved version. So I give them the pass on the card stock.
They're in like an Exodus version of Soul Warden. It's in perfect shape.
Yes and no. I've got cards back in that time period that are really crapped up too. Foils that faded, that are not even recognizable now. I get it. Their secondary printer is terrible. Think about Fate Reforged when the second release of it. Think about Kaladesh 2.0. The second print of Kaladesh was bad. Same thing.
Paper supply is also a huge issue as well that no one likes to talk about.
Yeah, again, I think here's another criticism of Jeremy. I think that he just found something that he could, that the whole community could get behind there, and went for the throat with it. That was his silver bullet, and I think he's pushed that a lot further than he would have pushed if he still had a promo, for example.
Well, I think the problem with the card stock quality also goes back to, you know, consistency. If all the cards were consistently shit, I don't think anybody would really care.
Yeah, that's true.
When you get that one really nice foil, and then the other card at the bottom of the pack is like, you know, got runny ink, and it just looks like somebody like moved the printer while it was printing. And you got ink splotches and shit. Then
yeah, but that's the minority. It's still the minority of the cards. It's still the minority.
No, I agree.
Okay, I've worked in production, manufacturing, and these type of things happen. Do they need to have a better quality control? Absolutely. Is it a hill that I want to die on? No. That's why you haven't seen me cover it. Let's go to Rusty says a question. How do you think that Seth did nothing wrong? He shared it to a much bigger audience, or I don't know exactly what he said there. So again, Seth, I have talked to Seth personally. Seth didn't mean anything by the tweet. I believe him. It was just him saying, oh, maybe these guys are just internet trolls when the Keck is down. He was first defending the store when they posted the picture of the marked up poster. And then when someone sent him the Keck stuff, he's like, oh, okay, maybe they are just trolls and would do this. He didn't mean anything by the tweet. If we give Jeremy a pass, if we give me a pass, we give everyone a pass that we are not responsible for what our audiences do, then we must also give that exact same courtesy to those that we don't necessarily agree with. And Seth took the time to actually even reach out to me and say that he didn't mean anything by it.
Besides, Seth has always been middle of the road. Even when the rest of Goldfish is trying to come down on Jeremy's ass during Spranklegate, the most he ever said was that bullying is bad and people shouldn't do it.
But he's still attached to Goldfish. He's still a figurehead.
Yeah, but doesn't he have the right to have an opinion too? And don't we have the right to not crucify him for every little opinion?
Nobody's crucifying him, dude. I don't even know the guy.
Well, the guy,
I don't even know the guy. But
there have definitely been people that are crucifying him.
Very clear. He's
How did you say that for him? His intentions weren't really clear, because you're telling me that you are telling me that Seth had different intentions than what Seth.
I don't work for MTG Goldfish. I don't have 40,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. I'm nobody, and I'm telling you that he virtue signaled. He did it on purpose because he wants that good publicity. Because he's suckling at the teats. It's all about money. He's suckling at the teats of Wizards of the Coast. MTG Goldfish is paying him. Nobody pays him.
I think that's a bit cynical, to be honest.
It could be cynical, but still.
And it's been hypocritical.
Goldfish. He's a co-founder of Goldfish.
Co-founder, money.
Well, he's not a co-founder.
No, he's not a co-founder. No.
Yeah, they hired him on later.
He just works for him.
It was him and Richard, though, wasn't it?
No, he's hired on later. But anyway, again, I think it's a little bit hypocritical for us to give people passes saying, "Oh, it's not this person's not doing, or this person has the right to do this," and then crucifying another person.
So I'm going to do it.
Again, and you can be mad at Seth for it. I was very disappointed at it because I thought after they used it as their catalyst to ignite the fire, maybe I would have wished that Seth would have said, "Hey, don't do this." Right there would have put a stop to it. But I don't know. But again, I think we're going way too overboard to be putting everything directly on Seth's head.
Next question.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I think with the Seth thing, real quick, is I think that you should be more angry with the way that people reacted to his tweet, as if his tweet held some sort of ultimate power over people's decision to
buy a bunch of money.
He putting them finishing touches. He putting them finishing touches on that sign.
So if I put it, hold on. I want to
secretly
say if I put a tweet out,
Wizards of the Coast.
if I put a tweet out, if that was me, do you think that would have happened?
Of course not. You don't have to reach.
Of course not. Because who am I? So who am I? Who's going to pay attention to me?
That's a moot point, though. It's an absolute moot point. It's
Okay.
Make that fish bony, boy. Man.
Anyway, let's get on to the other one. This is a juicy one by Kai. As a shop owner, how do you feel about the ending of Wizards Direct, and how much longer will it be before Channel Fireball loses monopoly on Grand Prix? Well, let's finish the latter one earlier. Channel Fireball is, in my opinion, a conflict of interest. If there should anyone that they should be very pissed off about, it should be Channel Fireball. I don't think the Wizards of the Coast should have any ties with Channel Fireball. With Channel Fireball as co-owner, actively promoting a competitor to their own game and using their fans to go to his game and watch him stream his game. In fact, recruiting people from his Magic streams to go watch his game. It's a direct competitor, which I just find is it's funny how I don't know how Wizards.
Why aren't they outsourcing those? Why aren't they basically setting those up for like the lowest bidder or whoever is the most active at promoting?
That's what they used to do, right? But it just ended up being too expensive. So
Channel Fireball made them probably. I think that they gave everyone like a test run, and they liked the way that Channel Fireball. They also had close ties with Channel Fireball. I think the Star City Games and Wizards have had a quite tense relationship for quite some time. And Channel Fireball and Star City Games, it's no secret they do not like each other. So I think this was a business decision based upon this.
Money from Wizards of the Coast, they're probably all being fed.
Well, Channel Fireball is paying to run Grand Prix. You're absolutely right. They're paying Wizards to run them.
Are they paying?
No, Channel Fireball's paying them.
They're paying them.
Yes.
They make that much revenue to pay Wizards of the Coast to run those venues.
Yes.
Yeah, they got to bid
Holy
for those.
Smokes.
They got to bid for those spots because they're gonna make.
That's how it works. It's not.
I guess my veil had been lifted.
Channel Fireball probably made an offer they couldn't refuse.
Well, it's like bidding for the World Cup, hoping that you're going to make your money back when everybody comes to the conventions and goes to the
politics.
And all that.
All it is, money and politics.
So I'm okay with Channel Fireball running it, except I don't like the conflict of interest that it's caused with now with a lot of people that are closely associated with Channel Fireball working direct for Wizards. To me, that's just me. But again, that's their prerogative. If it explodes in their face, then it explodes in their face. As a shop owner, how do I feel about ending Wizards Direct? Do you know what? Other distributors are now trying to fight for my business, which hasn't happened before. We are getting people. We are getting Southern Hobby. We are getting GTS. We are getting Alliance, all reaching out saying, "Hey, we hear you're in the market," and so we could actually see prices coming down. I've never been a fan of Wizards Direct. I think that Wizards has always been incompetent, and whatever they do except for designing the game, and their distribution has been no exception. Their customer service is terrible. We once ordered something on like a Wednesday, Zach, and they decided to ship it off on a Monday because it must have better things to do than ship our order off.
Well, you guys missed out on a pre-release, didn't you?
Yes, we missed out on a pre-release.
My shop didn't even get to Corset. I'm actually waiting for them to my shop. Well, it changed to Gamers Haven, new owners, by the way. People are nice there. I'm waiting for them to get the paperwork done for it to be a WPN store and get to Guilds of Ravnica. Because that comes out in October.
Yeah, exactly. Because they've already missed the Ravnica, or they might have actually missed it. Hopefully, they get it in time. But
I hope so too.
But
they have to get it done by Monday.
They have to get it done by Monday. That's what Zach says. But anyway, the WPN goes beyond that. Like if you have to get something from a distributor, you usually need WPN. That's why I do feel for a store of Fire and Ice, because this is our store of Fire and Dice. This actually does affect even beyond just the Wizards relationship. It affects the contract with distributors, which then can affect them from actually getting other games, because a lot of times a lot of distributors don't even want to take you on if you don't have a WPN. It's a really weird. Because Wizard does play the bully. Wizards a lot of times overstretches, in my opinion, who they are with thinking they own the stores and they own the distributors, and everyone has to bow to big old mighty Wizards. I've had a lot of game stores tell me they won't even deal with Wizards just because of that attitude. But anything you add to this perp? You haven't said anything forever. What are you wearing on your nose?
You know what, man? I feel like a kid at the back of the class, dude. I totally zoned out. I was thinking about how I wasn't paying any attention to what the hell was going on at this point, and I just put this card on my nose and was looking at the chat, and then I heard my name, and I was like,
"Is it a cool card?"
It was that dread. Oh, it's oh shit! I ruined a Tetsuko Umezawa. I wasn't even paying attention.
Make us moist.
That goes in a rat deck.
Moist.
Yeah. So sorry. Could you succinctly
I was just saying, do you have anything since you probably don't work with the store getting their cards at all, their distribution outlets, things like that?
No, I have nothing to do with any of that, so I couldn't chime in about any of the distributors.
I just wanted to hear your lovely voice because it's been forever, and I was starting to die inside.
My boner went away.
I figured that since I had gone like full rage mode and was just yelling so much and over everybody, I was like, you know what? Maybe I should just sit back, be quiet for a while, let everybody else have a chance to talk without me yelling. I get to do that enough on my channel.
Hey, Kevin,
all right, so here's another juicy one.
Hold on. You got a question for Zach? I'll just take a second.
Okay, Zach has a question.
What's this nice sign? What is the base made out of? Is that like a palm?
What is the base made out of? Why don't you do a video teaching people how to do these, Zach?
Jesus.
We have this nice camera.
I just called him Jack.
Made out of
Smack him,
foam.
Jack.
We need daily content for this channel, damn it.
We can like open up.
Is
We
he
can open
listening?
up he's like delayed a little bit, but
So
yeah.
he can hear us.
Yeah,
Zach
Zach can hear us.
Slap Rogue Deck Builder right in his greasy little face. Smack him right in his little gremlin face. It'll be great for the views, dude. Do it for the views. Do it for the views.
He doesn't want to get petty. I will not.
Smack that weasel.
But yeah, anyway, I've been trying to get Zach to do more of the artsy stuff. It's not my cup of tea, but it definitely is. He's been making some cool tokens and stuff. I want to set this entire place up into more of a good studio. Eventually, I'll get around to it. So he does a lot of these craftsy stuff that you plebs like.
You're worse than me.
Hey, my boyfriend Desolator Magic's here.
No, I said I'll get around to helping you.
There you go.
I thought the tasty was fatal there for a second.
You thought what?
For a second I thought that that was her. That was you talking, bro, for some reason.
Oh yeah, I do have quite the list.
Funny thing about Desolator, he has me blocked on Twitter. I'm like, really, dude? I showed everyone a Virgin Chad meme. You blocked me.
It's just Desolator. No big.
Let's
no
bring him
biggie.
on. Desolator, you should join us.
Oh, I want to fight with him. Bring
no,
it.
no.
Let's go on to the next one. We're going to the next question. Here's
Next
the
question.
easy one.
Desolator's
Let's
a friend.
go on to Moist Von Lipwig.
I still love you, bro. You and me are friends. Don't worry about these fucking guys. Don't worry about it.
You and me are friends too, Desolator.
You and me are gonna run away together, and we're gonna do tuna can reviews, bro. You and me. Fuck all the haters, man.
I showed everyone a Virgin Chad meme months ago.
But a little fun little. This is what do the Catholics do? Confession time.
Yeah.
Fun little confession time.
What did the Catholics
20 years of that crap. Oh my god.
One time, Chris, Legendary Mana, invited me to a podcast with him, and the two guests were Tabletop Girls and Desolator. And I literally had a coming to Jesus moment, and like, what quality of person am I? I had to go home and cry about it. Okay, I don't hate either one of them. They just both get on my nerves constantly.
I like Tabletop Girls, actually.
I thought everybody gets on your nerve, you little fucking ball of hate.
Those two people, by far, get on my nerves more than anybody, because if you talk about the knee-jerk reactions or just the going nuclear over nothing, or just refusing to look at facts.
Now, okay, can I just point this out here? Desolator, yeah, he gets on my nerves for specific reasons, like,
I want to be
you get the straight Watsy. You banned Jared for being toxic when this motherfucker is a bit more.
No,
like
no one Desolator together.
No one notices Desolator being a lot more toxic than him.
All right. Well, I mean,
happen.
Toxic battles.
I'm just saying, Desolator. If you want to collaborate for a video, or if you want to join me on my podcast, you're welcome anytime, buddy.
Thank you, Tasty.
Yeah, attention whore.
I will see you there. Let's draw the most attention.
All right, I'm getting back to the questions. All right, so Moist Von Lipwig, this is another juicy one because you can. Here, I'm just putting this out there. You guys can criticize me. How much have you heard me talk about the
let's
pedo
criticize
judge
Kevin. Kevin sucks.
How many videos have I done about the pedo judges?
Criticize Kevin.
Not enough, Kevin. Not enough.
I've done zero. How come I won't do it? Because it's a bullshit topic. I'm
Why
sorry.
is it a bullshit topic?
Oh no, I don't know what he's freaking out about. I was too obsessed with
What
bullshit.
happened?
All right, so let's just go on this too. That I've heard all this where now we've got Louis, whoever Louis is, going after Seth, going after Wedge, going after Larry Gods, going after everyone because they refuse to cover the pedo judge issue. It's not my place.
Oh no,
it's not my place.
That's a whole.
I want kids to be safe from. I want kids.
But what does it make it my responsibility as a content creator to even go down that road? I'm not going pro judge here. I'm not like making videos like Natalie did or whatever, calling this like a conspiracy or whatnot. But I'm also not covering it because it's not my battle. It's not my fight. I don't know anything about that, and I'm not going to interject into it. And what I found the biggest problem with the pedo judge stuff is I knew eventually that someone out there is going to get drug into it. That it's going to be one of these issues where it's like there's more to the story than what we know, and it's going to end up into the definition of a witch hunt. So when I get these type of like these things that people had, you know, the one good thing he did and stuff like that, that's one of the things that I bowed completely out of is when we started to go on this whole, you know, the judge program pedophilia type thing.
Hey,
and
bro,
you guys can criticize me all you want.
I was a part of that, man. I think that on either side of it, if people decided not to be a part of it, no problem. But as somebody who was part of the judge program and sees the ability to abuse it, I was actually appalled to find out that they didn't have a full-on background check required by everybody, dude. So I'm not sitting there looking to hunt people down. I think that's bullshit. You can't root everybody out of the game, but you do have to have protections in the judge program.
And I agree.
Didn't sit there yelling about people not being a part of it.
Yeah, I'm right there with
Louis got out of control. They got out of control with trying to push, attacking people for attack people for when they actually are wrong about something, and it's still going on. And I'm so surprised. Like the same tweets that were tweeted at Seth or at Tulare Community College or at Wedge or at everyone else, they could have easily done tweeted at me. Louis could have come for me because I haven't covered it either. And I'm just so sick of it at this point. Yeah. Did someone have it, or Lou Coyle? I don't know.
I actually interviewed him. He's a really nice guy.
I'm sure he's a nice guy, but he's talking about hyperbolic.
He's antagonistic on Twitter.
He's no purple though.
Yeah. Well, no,
by the way, Perp, you might explain why you unfollowed me on Twitter?
Perp. Yeah, I totally will, man.
He unfollowed everyone.
Hold on, Tasty, shut up. He asked me. All right. I unfollowed everybody else as just a general precaution for my channel and for my comfort, but you specifically are a piece of fucking garbage. So that's why I unfollowed you. I hope that your life is miserable, bro. This guy. When I unfollowed you, I got an erection when I unfollowed you.
Come on, man.
I felt like I just saved a baby from a fire when I unfollowed you. I was like, holy shit. I almost wanted to follow you again just to unfollow you.
Come on, man.
Kicking a man while he's down.
You fucking asked for this, man. You fucking asked for this.
Are you talking about Tasty?
Yeah. Fuck that Tasty guy. He's an asshole.
I love Tasty. He's just lazy. He just wants to. He doesn't want to make good content like he was before, telling people to drink bleach. He wants to make a 2-minute video going, everybody makes non-effort content, so I'm going to too. No, we all don't. Fuck you, Tasty.
Tasty. True. I would love to do a collab with you about drinking bleach. I am totally down.
We all can't do fucking Evan Irwin saying hello 200 times.
You gotta read bleach now.
I don't know. I think Tasty's best video is when he's screaming outside the pizza shop because it's closed.
No, the best one is that black and white one where he's staring out the window while he has that nonsense comment being read and he tells people to drink bleach. I loved that. Like, that made me fall in love with him. And then I'm like, why'd he get so lazy and unfunny after that?
I told him he should stick to skits. I told him he should stick to skits.
I mean, look at him. He's playing Switch.
I'm playing Minecraft right now.
Playing Minecraft.
Wait, yo, we can.
I'm gonna bring this full back to questions. Back to getting off. So Jake says, if everyone is at each other's throat, how can the community de-escalate, either on Wizards and or the players' end? I think that Wizards should set the bar for it. They should definitely stop promoting the drama for sure. When Tulare Community College and Wedge tweeted, they retweeted those. Didn't they retweet those tweets?
I believe they did. Yeah.
And then everyone in their the entire community. Channel Fireball, Star City Games, everyone like posted the Wizards of the Coast also needs to quit being involved so much with blatant people who have taken a blatant side, like Hipsters of the Coast or Vox or these ones that have these political out
Kevin,
there.
But
what?
Torian has yet to make his first drama video.
I know you'd bring that up. All right, well we'll just ignore that. For the time being, so everyone, but beyond Wizards,
go back to selling shit and not worrying about any of either sides. Just making their posts about new cards, new art, and then replying to people saying, "Oh, that's a great build," or yeah, we love that card too. I mean, that should literally be what their Twitter account is.
Exactly.
Do what Card Bazaar does and just do informational videos about sets and history. I fucking love that. I think that's awesome. That video that you just did.
Pretty interesting.
Well, and Wizards should actually, they should definitely be more, even if they personally don't agree with something, they should be more open-minded to that. Some people do. It almost feels like Wizards puts their head in the sand. Okay, people don't like the direction of the art, like Mero. Mero puts up that stupid. When is the community going to throw out Rebecca Gay and Steve Argyle? They're next. They've got to go. Those guys, they are problematic. They, according to Wizards' own art standards, those two should not be creating art for Wizards of the Coast. Have you ever seen Steve Argyle's or Rebecca Gay's side projects?
Rebecca Gay's last name is Gay, so they can't get rid of her.
Well, just go look at Rebecca Gay's side project. It's softcore porn.
I'm a bit angry right now hearing this shit.
That's how we don't have our WPN.
It's like their own standards. They're eventually going to eat themselves if they keep going down that road. Steve Argyle does some very racy stuff. A lot of these images that Steve Argyle does, Wizards has come out and said are exploitative, are misogynistic, are.
Okay. I'm just gonna look up a specific Rebecca Gay piece, not for pornography's sake, just for like context here.
All right, anyone in chat too, you can look at that. It's because I mean that's the whole type of thing is that when Wizards has Mero putting out these sort of things, they're creating lines in the sand, they're creating positions, and they're inevitably they're going to push people away, or enable other people to have these sort of talking points of like I saw in Free Magic today. That literally this kid on Free Magic thought that if you wore a MAGA hat to a store, that you should be banned. Is he kidding me?
That's so
weird. Did they know who the president of the United States is?
Yeah.
And whether you hate it or not, but to try to say that like an official apparel of the president of the United States will get you banned?
That's so
wow.
weird. Like,
wow.
Pakistan flag will get you banned?
Yes, it has new, but it's very beautiful to look at.
Well, that's how you. I'm with you on that, but it's how you interpret it. It's very sexual, very sexual.
I don't mind it personally.
Okay, we're not saying if you mind it or not. I'm trying to say with Wizards' own standards. But so anyway, I just want to say that
it's like body types too.
Oh.
Like I don't personally mind the nudity. Like, hey, it's her artwork. She should do whatever she wants.
It's also digital art versus traditional art, which now in 2018, all the artists have moved to digital art and just drawing on their Microsoft tablets instead of old school.
I know you guys are missing the point. What I'm saying is that Wizards is drawing this line in the sand.
It's Wacom.
Oh,
well,
whatever.
Sorry,
I offended you.
Draw really fucking good in your Cintiq.
Oh.
And actually related to.
Hold up.
Hold on a second. So if you look at it this way, Kevin, Nintendo used to have a huge policy of like re-editing art or re-editing games, taking crosses out of games or covering women up more in games and that kind of thing. And if you look at the last game that was like kind of really controversial was like Xenoblade Chronicles 2, they hired a bunch of hentai artists to draw a lot of the characters, and they hired several of them. And they made some risky characters, but some of them are really good. But the popularity of that alone, like Nintendo showing that, you know what, we're going to let people choose to buy this game. If they find it offensive, then don't buy it. Actually paid off really well for them, and it's one of the best-selling Switch games so far. I think Wizards should just kind of embrace some of this fantasy art that they used to have and let people decide if that's what they want to participate in or not.
You're an old-timer, Perp. Isn't that how Magic was?
Okay, like who's the other artist?
The old school Magic artwork was definitely not Puritan bullshit. If you look at things like Earthbind, I mean, I was a fucking, what was it? I was like 15 years old when I saw that. The internet wasn't a thing, man. And that was that fucking hot little fairy chick tied down. And I was like, this artwork's pretty sweet. You look at the Elvish Ranger from Alliances, she's got some big fucking tits on her. They looked amazing. She looked like she was painted for the cover of a romance novel.
They actually have this card.
Big fat old juggies. So they didn't have this, like, the artwork was really random. They didn't have this sort of homogenous thing that they're doing now where, like, Stang, man, when they brought Stang back, I was like, oh, cool, they're going to reprint Stang. And then I saw him, and Stang looks like a soldier token. And even more so when you actually look at the Stang token they made to go with him. The reprint of Stang basically robbed all the flavor of him. And even though you look at it and you go, well, he does have a distinctive face, and if you stare at it, he's like a character you haven't seen on any other card, but you have to force yourself to see that. He's literally just another generic soldier token. And that kind of bland, like, artwork change, we see it in Ice. You look at old school cards like Ice and Shade, right? And that's your 3 black, 3 colorless for your 5/5 pro white. Back in the day was great because swords to plowshares were a huge hassle. So it'd take 2 bolts to get rid of him. You couldn't plow him. He was a big threat, and he looks really menacing in his artwork. He looks huge. If you look at the reprint of Ice and Shade, it looks like a ring wraith from Lord of the Rings, and its posture and everything is got almost like a feminine stance to it, and it certainly in the artwork does not appear to be a 5/5 at all. So there's this change that you can feel, a homogenization of the artwork, while in a way it's sleeker, it's more professional, but in another way it lacks character.
Yeah, Battle Bond
I feel like
is
it
kind
needs
of
to
the
go
worst
back to that
offender in my
feel,
opinion.
though.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Well,
with
let's
Casey.
go. Let me reel this back in why I brought purple on. I brought purple on this specific question because you youngins are too young to remember the climate that Magic started in. I don't know, maybe it was different in Purple's end of the world than it was in mine. But Wizards of the Coast, Magic in general, was not received well by the public, especially the Christian community.
Oh yeah.
Satanic panic, son.
Let me.
We'll have some overlap there for sure, man. Go
My
ahead. but
parents didn't want me playing Magic the Gathering because it was closely related to D&D, and there's a little bit of story with Utah and D&D. We had a lovely serial killer named Ted Bundy, who, talk about someone that can't take personal accountability. The guy is just absolutely he's a sociopath, so he's absolutely incapable of taking personal accountability, and he loved the spotlight after he got caught. He loved doing interviews, and so he blamed his serial killing spree on 2 things: pornography and D&D. Because in his view, it was those things that desensitized him towards other humans. The D&D allowed him to play make-believe, where he was able to be a thief and kill people, and then he started seeing people as objects rather than people because of pornography. So we had the right, the Christian right, really attacking fantasy at that time, saying that there was the devils, then the artwork, but
that was
Magic
happening
didn't.
in Canada too.
I actually know about some of that, so sorry for kind of sound like I don't know shit when I say this. But I kind of did my own research prior, like years ago, about how Magic wasn't received well. Like they had to switch demons to horrors and change Wrath of God to Day of Judgment.
Yeah, well, yeah, in the early days, they had to take swastikas. They had to take pentagrams out of the artwork and things like that. Like the things that did really, really cross the line, they took them out. But for the majority of it, it was like, okay, then don't buy our game. Don't buy our game. If it's something that you care about that deeply, that is going to keep you from playing it. These, more attractive looking characters, whatever you have it there. They didn't cave to it. They catered to their fantasy audience, and it's almost like that. Now we've gone a complete full circle of to where the right used to criticize about sexuality is the devil, like anything sexual. I was raised Mormon, so sex is the worst thing in the entire world according to Mormon culture.
Right.
So now, but it's funny. This exact same artwork now is being attacked by the left, even the do I dare say the F word, the feminist movement, saying that we can't objectify and sexualize women, to where it's almost to a point where when's Therese Nielsen and Rebecca Gay going to be kicked off of the platform because they find what their sexuality is now going to be determined
but
not
it is
good in the Magic community because they have the same sexuality I do. They like young, attractive women.
I mean,
but it is
they draw young, attractive women.
I mean, let me just say this: like, it's funny when the left is all about female empowerment and shit. Well, Therese Nielsen creates these female-empowered pieces of art, and they're pretty to look at. They are very, very attractive to look at. They're gorgeous, even.
She's also a lesbian too. But
yes, exactly. That's what I was bringing up those
she
two
likes
because
the
they're
feminine body. She likes.
And go look at their side projects.
Yeah,
they are incredibly racist.
She is an amazing artist, by the
Oh,
way.
sure,
I
her
just want
artwork
to say,
is beautiful.
Eternal Witness
Well,
is probably one of my favorite cards of hers. It's just amazing. Her artwork.
Well, I remember D&D and Magic being that game that me and my uncle and his friends would all sit down and smoke cigars. He'd let me have a beer. There was some Dio Iron Maiden posters on the wall, some old Magic art, on the wall, and it was just that dungeon, kind of like deep.
And that's
fantasy
why everybody's
metal
upset
kind of
because
game.
they want
That's
it
what
back.
we
that
need to
feel
go
to
back
it.
into.
They want it
No one
back.
gave a shit about what you look about political. Like we need to go back to that time.
Well, they're catering to
you
their audience,
you
too.
can go back to that political time. All you have to do is just unplug from your computer and just get off the internet. You can build your Magic Man cave again. You can do that. You can live that lifestyle again.
I have not needed a phone for most of my life until I was 15.
But so anyway, let me get back to Jake's question. So Jake says, everyone's out their throats. How can the community de-escalate? I think Wizards needs to quit drawing these lines in the sand. I think they need to shut up Mark Rosewater for one.
Get
and
rid of
either
him.
say, okay,
And
they don't need to get rid of him. They don't need to get rid of him. They just need to say, okay, you need to distance your blogatog away from the actual company. And that way, that will cause so much strife to go away when the Wizards employees aren't at the forefront of every one of these community battles. Where, yes, they can be the judge, they can be the executioner, but they shouldn't be the crowd. They shouldn't be the participants in this. And the players' end, you know, me, myself, I should get better at this. Like I said today, it was out of respect for Coach that I didn't go after Nizahone's throat today. Just because I knew that, you know, friendships, you know, I'm friends with Coach. Coach is friends with Nizahone. I get it. We don't like each other. And, you know, it's just one person away before it starts this massive. So it was almost like respect of like, oh, God, I don't want someone's life to be more miserable that I respect because two of their friends are deciding to. So I took the big boy pants and said, all right, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to. I want to. I really want to, but I'm not going to.
What happened with Nitsa?
Oh, he's just throwing at the anti-Pakistan stuff and being. Can I say retarded? Wait, it's my stream. I can say whatever I want to say.
I don't follow him on Twitter, so I don't really know
I had the meme ready. I had the South Park retard
You can't
alert
fucking say
ready.
retarded. You can't say retarded on the
You can't
internet.
say it retarded on the internet.
I know.
Stop being a fucking retard.
Stop being a retard, dude.
Dude, all these rules about saying retard are so fucking retarded.
Well, that's the Rick and Morty episode. Which
Look at Battlebond. Look at this. Just look at the art. It's just everybody's so figured. They're trying to cater to it. They're catering.
I think they're okay to do a set that's like that. Come on, that's what the whole thing is magic. They can go to planes that it's almost like Rick and Morty. You can go to like dimensions that are different. A dimension where the couches are people and the people are couches.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for the all.
For me,
all
it's the
black
tones.
universe in Magic.
For me, it's the tones. It's the light purples and teals and greens. It makes me like nauseous looking at cards. Like doubling season. I honestly hate that fucking art.
Here's another good question. Another one by Lipwig. Game stores are more than just stores. They're havens for outcasts. That's why this causes such a strong, poorly thought out emotional reaction. The whole thing about the outcast too is that's what I've loved running a game store. Zach can attest for this too. Purple can probably attest for this. I've watched some people's personalities blossom because we're the first time in these people's lives where they felt like they belonged, where they felt like that they just had the kid that just moved, he was almost in tears when he was moving because he was convinced, we call him Kid, his real name's Dalton, but he was convinced that he was never going to find friends like this again. I'm like, dude, you're moving to a bigger city. You're moving to a better store than we are. I've been to the store. There's a ton of people there. You're going to meet people. But it was just a lot of these people, they didn't have a place until they had their local game stores and they had I say we kind of lightly because, again, I wouldn't consider myself friendless or bullied in high school. I had a lot of different. I was always frustrated because I never felt like I belonged to a group though, because all my friends were from different walks of life.
But
But
I'm bullying you.
yeah, besides you, besides all you people in this. I think that's what one of the magical things about Magic is that it comes from outcasts. And unfortunately, what I've seen with the Magic culture is people that were bullied become the most vicious bullies. When they get the power change. I mean, power corrupts, absolute power corrupts. Absolutely.
I was talking with someone about this, because I was talking about the Big Bang effect, the Big Bang Theory effect, how nerd culture and all that shit was like super looked down upon for the past, I don't know, 30, 40, 50 years. And more so with the rise of the internet, you start to see that shit become more mainstream because it turns out everyone's kind of like that. Everyone's a nerd. But it seems like now that everyone's just kind of being more open-armed about it, it seems like maybe there's a resentment from those nerds to attack the more mainstream people. And as a result, we are reaching situations like this. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it seems like the dichotomy's flipped.
That one thing they're nerdy about, and that now that you can kind of go, oh, that guy's a nerd about science, and that guy's a nerd about sports, or that guy's a nerd about this, author. We all have that one thing that we're nerdy about, and when people kind of realize that, then kind of the stigma goes away, right?
Yeah, and now that we have all problematic, toxic males in our society because it became mainstream, because everyone liked Big Bang Theory and Rick and Morty, now all of a sudden it's a problem, and you have all these quote unquote outcasts that are super offended and are trying to get everyone out of their little fucking game or whatever, or out of Magic or out of comic books or whatever. And now it's all about being equal and shit. And I don't know.
The funny thing is, I find is like I'm not over there telling hipsters of the coast they can't exist. I'm not over there actively telling Magic the Amateuring that I don't want them in my game. I'm not over there even telling Wedge or Torrington College that they can't, that I wish they were gone. I wish they weren't part of the community. I think that's, I wish that a lot of people would come back to that sanity level of saying, all right, you can have a different outlook on life. You can have a different opinion on life. Let's just play the card game and try to get along as best as possible.
Yeah,
that was my biggest wake-up point, though, was when those people came after my platform. They came after my ability to even make YouTube videos or be sponsored, and want, to this day, want me out of the community, completely gone. That's when Magic will be good, is when Unsleeved Media, Travis Wu, Kevin, Deathletter Magic, Tasty Snackies, gone out of the community.
And that's when I'll take over.
That's kind of my beef with going back to
Fatal Arya did nothing wrong.
Mr. Magic Man did nothing wrong.
You got shot.
He was a shit post.
And I guarantee that you brought that upon yourself.
He was a shit posting autist, but he was actually a good guy after all. He collaborated with Tasty Snackies over a shit post.
I just make memes. It's
memes.
Anyway,
memes.
any last questions, Stat, or any other topics we want to get to? I think we've been streaming for quite a bit. This is we had some pretty high view counts though for stream.
1 in the morning where I live. You better make this work.
Which is crazy. I do Twitch and I get 4 viewers, and one of them is Zach because he feels bad.
How high did we get, bro?
I don't know. I think we got up to 120s at one point. There's 115. There's 115
people to show your Twitch to.
You can't even say the word Twitch on YouTube. We just got completely banned right now. Yeah, there's apparently that's the big no word on YouTube.
Oh my god!
But I don't know. I'm probably gonna quit it. It's just not working out for me to be on that platform and on this platform.
You better make this quick, boy.
What?
It's 1 in the morning where I live.
Oh, you can definitely jump out. Any last words before you jump out?
Fire Rosewater.
That's not gonna happen. But good
It
job.
better happen.
I don't know. Maybe if Wizards gets to if they reach a point in the company where some drastic changes need to happen, then maybe they'll get rid of Rosewater. But I think that's a bit of a pipe dream.
Yeah.
Well, as my grandpa used to tell me, nobody pays somebody to do nothing forever. So
I might make a separate video about my damn crackpot theory, but peace the fuck out. I'm going to bed.
Catch you later.
Take care, man.
Later.
We need more talent at Wizards, not less.
Agreed.
Well, okay, that's there's a topic too that we can definitely get into one of these times. We got sidetracked. I need to lay out an actual Legendary Mana doesn't have questions actually written out, but I am lazy.
Don't do
that's,
that.
that's the best way I work.
Don't be like them.
But yeah, it's that's been my issue with Wizards. You can go check their Glassdoor reviews. Thanks for the donation, Chris. You're awesome. Love you, buddy. Definitely, we need to.
Hit that bell. Bing, 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 bing,
I need to get a bell. This is exactly what I want to try to establish, though. Is look. This is where we failed, I think. Look at Wedge. Look at Southern College. Look at, like I said, Hipsters of the Coast and Illy on TV and AJ Satcher and all these people. They've actually been very successful.
AJ Soccer. I'm sorry.
Is that how he says his name is Soccer? I don't care. I don't know the guy. I just know he hates me. The thing is, they've been able to cultivate a nice little community and get crap done. Hopefully, we can start doing that and be a positive voice rather than a ringing voice. Because it is true. We have become hypocrites in a lot of sense of becoming a hate mob when we hate mobs. So we become a hate mob to hate the hate mob. It doesn't really work that way. So hopefully, I really am trying to work with Legendary Mana and get something going to where it can be a good influence, a good counterweight, and maybe even go to some GPs and stuff. So,
but it's kind of like what Purple.
Got a new
sorry.
What?
Go for
He
it.
posted a JPEG earlier today. That was the first part of the project. He had a JPEG of his little live stream.
Oh yeah,
I
I
guess my
saw
question
that.
would be this though: how effective are those people really? I mean, how relevant? Is,
Well,
those
what,
people?
and that's kind of what I sent Seth. I had a private message with Saffron about he just wanted to let me know because we do respect each other. That wasn't his intentions to get a local game store shut down. I believe in with that. But anyway, I kind of sent off. I'm like, well, this is what happens though when you surround yourself like like these people that are openly like they're at people. These Ilions, these AJs, these hipsters of the coast, they are trying to kill businesses. They are actively trying to shut down people and silence people.
Who the hell is Ilion? Can you spell his name?
Exactly.
No, legit. Can you spell his name for me real quick though? I'm serious.
Illyon.
Oh my God, I'm not even joking. Remember earlier in the stream when I said everybody identify themselves? Now don't take this the wrong way, and I don't fucking care if you do. Fucking Card Bazaar there or whatever, Coach, whatever. I legit thought, I'm like, is that fucking alien clown who I don't know? And I was like, is that who that is? So I'm like, I want to know, am I in its fucking stream with this clown or not? And that's why I was like, identify. And then everyone started going, and then Adewolf started running his mouth before the fucking introductions were done. And I was like, fuck Adewolf, god damn it, I was late to this shit. I don't know if that. Now I know it's not, obviously.
That's pretty funny,
my
dude.
beef with him is he was at my throat before I even knew who the hell he was.
Yeah, I don't know who he is, and he's already got
what
me.
the hell I did to him and whatnot, and it was just, why I bring a lot of these people up, especially like Hipster of the Coast, Ilion, AJ Slasher, those are soccer. Those three think that they are the biggest members, loudest members. They think they're like the glorious. Everyone loves them, and one day I finally decided I'm gonna go check them out. I'm gonna go actually look at their. And I'm like, are you kidding me? There's 2 people watching.
Yeah, no.
And I was worried about what this person thought about. Went and looked up Hipsters of the Coast and looked up their actual stats of how many views they get and pages they get. And they're probably a bigger influence than I am. But this is an entire freaking company that has thrown actual money at a website and actual money to hire authors and stuff like that. They have no reach whatsoever. Same thing with this AJ person. Same thing with I had a very bad run-in with a guy from has been at Star City Games, but he introduced himself as a Star City Games writer, and then found out he hadn't written for Star City Games for 3 years. But went around like this, that I was this big member of the community. And I think it's what I said to Seth is this: we need to quit. It's the Emperor wears, the Emperor is not wearing any clothes, like literally. And I think people need to quit giving power to these no names, and maybe the best way forward is to quit engaging with them. Yeah. When they engage with Unsleeved Media, when they engage with MGG Line, when they do this, just don't engage. Like, I don't block people, but I've started muting a few people when I know that they're just trolls. They're on the Free Magic Reddit now. They're probably in this stream. They're everywhere. They're watching. They're waiting. They're obsessive with trying to completely destroy people. And I don't want us to be that. Wedge has the right to exist.
And hooliganism, Kevin. We call this in small club mentality. You got these small teams that are always like, we're gonna win the league this year. We're gonna win. No, seriously, we're gonna win. I'm like, you haven't won the league in 20 years. Sit your bitch ass down. You're nobody. Calm your tits. And that's basically just gotta ignore these people and just laugh. You gotta learn to laugh at some of these pathetic people.
What does bug me though is then Ilion gets a panel that 4 people show up to at GP Vegas, and
these
people get completely
showed up to that. I mean,
well, like I said, but still, like 4 people. It was and then we get accused of bullying him because we came to actually look because Unsleeved Media and I went and took a picture of it. And then we're the bad guys type thing. But this guy is openly, he caused the guy, I never even knew he existed till he came after me. Anyway, yeah, so it is frustrating that Wizards goes this route, but I mean, the only way for things to change though is just to keep doing, I guess to go back full circle with this whole thing, I don't like the approach a lot of times, the completely going nuclear, completely trying to kill Wizards of the Coast. Let them do it themselves. Let them shoot themselves in the foot. Let them keep throwing money at Geeks and Sundry and trying to promote their game to yuppies that are never going to want to play their game. And I think we just need to go business as usual. And
trying to shut down Wizards of the Coast like that isn't any better than what the claim is that the left is doing or what WotC is doing to others.
Yeah. Or same thing with like Tulane Community College or Wedge or people that I personally don't care for. They have every right. In fact, I actually think that the more content producers, the merrier in this community. I still enjoy a lot of Tulane Community College's videos. I think he does a phenomenal job on a lot of his reviews and a lot of his even deck techs. Much better job than I do, to be honest.
Yeah.
And same thing with Wedge. I kind of do think Wedge is the kind of the more BuzzFeed-ish type stuff of just reading a line off of stuff. But I mean, that content can exist as well, and it doesn't like I don't have to consume it.
But
and
they
then we take it away
they wouldn't dare lift a finger to speak against WotC at all because they will lose their sponsorship.
Well, I mean,
yes and no.
I mean,
I know for a fact that Tony Community College isn't fans of Wizards, and Wizards actually isn't a fan of Tony Community College except for the fact that he's big. And that's the point, though, is we just have to finally become, and we don't get that way becoming a despicable army. We have to be there by being the level-headed people.
True.
Well, and I'm kind of with you on that, Kevin. It's like when your younger sibling wants to do something that you're doing, but you know they're gonna get hurt, and then they go and whine, and then mom tells you to let them play with you too, and then what do? You laugh, you stand back, and you watch them get hurt. I'm kind of at that point now. If all these people want to just take over this game and run it into the ground, at some point I just kind of want to.
Some people just want to watch the whole world burn.
Well, yeah, and to address that too, like I don't like the nonsensical Tony Community College hate. Like again, I've had private conversations with the guy where he said that the Super League that he got invited to was the worst experience of his life because Trick Jarrett was an absolute asshole to him and made him talk in character, and he hated that. And he's like, why can't I just be myself? I'm like, no, you are the professor on this. And he was just a complete douchebag to him. This is while we're still friends, by the way, but now we don't talk. Anyway, but again, it still does frustrate me, though.
You guys saw each other in Vegas?
When people do some shady stuff on Twitter or do what we owe it to each other videos and things like that, it gets my nerves too. But I don't know. Criticize when it's deserving.
He hasn't
Criticize
done a video yet.
when they make a fake Reddit account and whine about 36 needle drops.
Well, the thing is,
I'm never letting it go, people.
Being that hard on Tolarian or Wedge would do nothing more than affirm their position anyway.
Or want them out of the community. That just becomes as bad as everyone else.
Yeah.
Yes, I want them to knock it off with trying to exile other people out of the community, but by our response of getting them out as well, or wanting, or like I started to get into earlier, of everyone's anecdotes or everyone's vision of what they think Magic is. Is it our right to define what Magic is for this other group that has definitely found enjoyment in it?
No, but I think at the same time, though, that these people's the way that they treat other people that aren't inside their group will eventually ostracize enough people to the point where they'll just plateau out. That's what I'm saying. Like at the end of the day, like who are these people? Like
Nerds.
they don't really influence the average day-to-day of regular players. So you're only giving them as much power as you think that they have.
Yeah. But anyway, I think I'm getting a little bit woozy here because of that paint in my nose.
But even if they have that much power, or whatever, why prove them right?
Yeah.
So let's wrap this up. Anyone have any last bit of discussion we want to go through?
Maybe we got a couple things to show for the website.
Show for the website? We can't show for the website. This isn't a rogue.
Shill.
Yeah. Well, we have some people in. Hey, everyone in this, all you noobs too. Where's my Rogue Master Brewer entries? Purple? Don't you know how to brew, Purple?
No, man. I've never built a Magic deck.
You and your King Klux King Cube.
King Cube.
We have 11 lists for the Rogue Master Brewer right now. Do you want?
What's that?
We have 11 lists right now for the Rogue Master.
We have 11 lists for Rogue Master Brewer. Ugh.
Jesus
had a lot
Christ.
more than that.
Fucking 30,000 subscriber channel. You got 11 submissions.
I know.
You could get more by going out and asking homeless people.
I know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We need more people to
There's $100 on the line, Pete.
This is dying.
Our good friends that probably don't want to be associated with this stream whatsoever, CardSphere, did donate a $100 bounty for the 75 for the first and 25 for the second. So I didn't have to pay out of pocket this time. That was nice of them. CardSphere's been really good to me. I've probably been really good for them. If you haven't checked out CardSphere, definitely check out CardSphere. This isn't coming from a way of being sponsored whatsoever. I have made an insane amount of money on CardSphere. In fact, my account balance right now is 0.04 cents. I have 4 cents in the account right now. And then I think the last time I switched up because I just kind of went on vacation mode, didn't want to trade a lot.
You tried to buy cards for me today, but you were too cheap.
You know what? I have a suggestion actually for your card competition, right? Because you don't have enough people who have joined it. So instead of saying to them, hey, come up with a creative deck, why don't you start off by saying, look, we've got this prize money, and this is much better than buying a lottery ticket. Just send us, it doesn't even have to work. It doesn't even, just send us 60 card land, and then we'll enter you in a draw for this because our channel's a joke. And
I was gonna say, Kevin, while I have you on stream right now, because we met on MTG Amino, right? Why don't you post it on there?
Why don't you post it on there?
Because I don't use Amino.
Well, this is what happened to me too. I used to be a swim coach, all right?
Yeah.
And I was bored out of hell because I didn't want to watch little
Rogue and his little speedos, bro. What's up? Who wants to learn the backstroke? No, let me teach you the breaststroke, Billy. Let me hold you under the water for a minute.
Practice got boring. It got absolutely boring.
I bet it did, man. You can only comment a guy so many times.
Oh my god.
Okay, so what were you saying?
So fucking I don't know if I can follow that up.
Come on, man. You're inside this guy. You get bored. You decide you're going to move on in life. Come on.
He's already had the cops called on him once for being.
He was doing freestyle, guys. He was doing freestyle.
So I would get bored and I would get on MTG Amino because I had my smartphone there. I don't even know where my goddamn phone is right now. That's like I'm not attached. I'm the generation that the phone is out of sight, out of mind. The whole thing with the phone is when I need to call someone. I don't like constantly check it. And so I have a computer for that. So I'm not on, my phone doesn't be used. And then my phone it gave up the ghost. I got the LG G4, which is the worst phone ever made because eventually it will start to destroy itself.
Gross.
And mine, the whole thing is if you use too much of if you get it too hot, it will start to separate, the processor start to separate. Apps do that, like Amino apps and stuff. So I uninstalled everything and once I got a replacement, but they just gave me the same phone back is what it was. So I don't want it to explode on itself again. So anyway, it's no slight to Amino. It's a great place. It's got a great community. I just don't have the time that I did. I don't have that 2 hours per day to be bored out of my mind and be like, hey, I'll go troll some MTG Amino. So
give Katie access to the account.
I'll figure it out. Yeah, I'll figure it out. You know what? I think
you got a 1 in 12 chance.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work like that.
You said there's 11 decks. It does work like that, man. You don't know these decks. You're going to be the judge, right? You don't know shit about that. You taste. Oh, you and Tasty, you're going to get. Tasty's going to get all high, and you're going to trust his opinion.
Strawn's professional.
Dude, there's a sweet narwhal deck.
No wonder nobody's entering. Jesus Christ! It's like
I submit.
Like, you know what? Hey, do you want to know a fun story about this? Here we go. Here's a claim to fame to me that I can say. Magic Man Sam started producing content because of a Rogue Master Brewer. True story.
So you're just like, I'm the dirt that something good grew out of?
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Well, why am I hanging out with you? Why am I fucking slumming it? I'm the next MTG superstar, and I'm here fucking slumming it with people like Tasty.
Jesus Christ.
Come on, Joe.
Blow your horn. Blow your horn.
You should support CardSphere because those guys are good. There's good people.
CardSphere is good. Yeah, let me finish my plug for. I mean, that was very generous of them. You know, they actually came to me for like asking if they could sponsor After Gathering Magic, and I've actually turned down a lot of sponsors just because I think I'm not in the right place to. I don't think I'm sponsorable. I don't want to be in a sponsorship.
No, you totally are, dude. You're awesome.
Dude,
I know, but in a company standpoint, you
just need the right sponsor. That's all. Somebody who's not going to have a problem with your viewpoints. You don't have massively problematic viewpoints. You're just dealing with a hypersensitive.
Yes, world. I do. I said that men get treated unfairly in today's day in society, which is the worst.
For realistic. hyper reactive, I should say, people. Normal, realistic people and a realistic sponsor would have no problem with you because you're not some crazy edge boy. You just happen to be realistic in a time where being realistic is unacceptable.
You don't have snakeskin headsets.
Rogue deck builder brought
Like you're just a good dude with a good fucking head on your
Yes,
shoulders.
bad
You're
dragon.
not some overreactive maniac like me. So no, like I'm unsponsorable, bro. Who's gonna sponsor this train wreck? You're perfectly fine.
I sponsor that train wreck.
Purple's just trying to butter me up. Oh, Purple. What did I ever do without before I met you? It must have been
I'll
a dark
butter you up
world.
all day, but only if I can start with your butt cheeks, bro. Let me butter them butt cheeks.
Let him wear that
I'm telling
speedo.
you, you have to fly out to GP Vegas. You got to do it next year.
I'll come to GP Vegas if you wear assless chaps, but cover your butthole so it's YouTube legal, and I will butter up your cheeks right there. We'll do it in the live stream.
Fucking do it. You guys better deliver.
No, my master plan with that is like I'm gonna take it serious. I'm gonna act serious. I'm gonna join the cosplay community, and when they don't accept me, I'm gonna cry bloody murder. I'm like, why not? I made a costume. I got buffed for
You're
this.
hot as an angel.
Took a
man.
Magic the Gathering costume or Magic the card and made a costume out of it. Why don't I count? And that because it's.
Do you remember the time when MTG Lion was going to hire somebody to cosplay as Jeremy and go to GPs?
How can you cosplay Jeremy? Have you seen the guy? The guy's like 6'10".
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
I
so-
told MTG Lion he should just wear stilts. Just fucking do it. Do it himself, man. Just do it himself.
I said that I was going to look for MTG Line by going around to a GP and asking every single Asian person there if they were MTG Line because somebody actually did that looking for him. He told a story about it, and I heard about it. I'm like, I want to be that guy now because that's
What, someone goes up to like Kenji and asks him if they're MTG Line?
every single Asian.
Herb, why don't you do the original?
I saw this happen in real life. I had a friend come visit me when I was in Toronto, and we went to a magic store that was all Asian dudes, and there was an Asian guy there named Charlie that we met, and we're on the bus the next day.
That's racist
And
in of itself.
there's a completely different Asian dude on the bus, and my friend goes, "Is that Charlie?" And I'm like, "Oh God, Charlie's a racist term." So I'm like, "Yeah, bro, that's Charlie." Go up and say, "Hey, Charlie." He just fucking he picked up on it. But it's just that level of nonsense, man. It's just.
Cool story, bro.
I know. We should just do story time with Purple.
I know, right?
Just go to his channel, man.
That's his entire channel.
Hey guys, I'm walking in the park. There's a fucking duck. I quit smoking cigarettes.
Yeah, exactly. And people will watch that shit, man. They won't
You're
listen
like,
to your opinion.
remember that live stream? You're like, hey guys, I'm in downtown Toronto. I got this drink. It was 39 cents. It was a pretty good deal. I had enough money to get some food today. I was like, what the fuck am I watching?
You keep coming back, man.
Hey, keep coming back.
Hey, Purple, I want to ask you a question while it's on my mind right now.
All right, brother, what's up?
So you've been streaming multiple times a day and uploading videos daily. How is that affecting you in terms of analytics and growth?
Oh, it's a terrible idea. If you're looking,
I'm just asking out of curiosity.
Like it's terrible because what happens is like YouTube's only willing to recommend so many of your videos, and when you keep bringing them out, YouTube's like, listen, fuckwit, I'm only going to show a couple of your videos to people. If you want to make 3, 4, 5 videos a day, fine, but I'm not telling anybody. Fuck you. And that's how it rolls. Because today, I'm behind schedule. I wanted to do the Planeswalker product path analysis videos, but things kept coming up. So this was supposed to be done a week ago, and it's a series of like 4 or 5 videos because I know if I don't, it's going to be 2 fucking hours. So I'm literally desperately trying to create everything I want to create because fuck the algorithm, bro. I don't give a shit. I could be twice as big and have a third of the fun, say what I don't want to say. I'm here to do what I want to fucking do. Size be damned, bro. So don't do what I'm doing. If you want to grow, make 1 to 2 videos a week, make them solid as fuck. Release one of them on a Friday because the weekends are where you hit it hard. You need to understand that the majority of your audience is going to be in North America, mostly in the US. So that like 9 to 5 demographic, obviously based for time zones, that's your sweet spot. So hit it hard on Fridays, slap something out in the middle of the week, and stay the fuck away from it because what I'm doing is poison.
All
right. Perp, how come you don't leave your live streams up as like saved? Like so people can go back and watch them later.
Because my whole goddamn channel would be a motherfucking mind. Like I do 2 or 3 live streams a day. Like it's hard to find a balance where I'm like, I want to live stream. I want to do it at different times so people can come out. I want to do whatever I can whatever I want, whenever I can. But if it's just live stream, and it's like, this guy spent 17 minutes eating fucking breakfast, I'm gonna watch this shit suck my dick.
I saw that.
No, dude,
even
don't
click
leave
on
it up
that.
there. That's part of the
I
charm,
didn't
man.
even
Just
click
put a
on that.
playlist. Just put it
Watch
under a
this old
playlist
man
of
eat
ridiculous live
breakfast.
streams, and then
Well,
just
I
leave
was-
it up, dude. Fuck it.
The main reason why I was asking in the first place is because I know watch time and audience retention is becoming more relevant as of late. So I was just asking because of the frequency of the uploads and the live streams as well, because I would imagine you have a somewhat sizable mass of followers that will watch you consistently on your live stream. So I just wanted to know if that type of watch time just kind of added up and positive for your channel.
The live stream time is added up like in a different way. It doesn't affect the channel the same way. And picking subjects that like people will be definitely interested. Like if for example, if today I chose to forego doing the 4 videos that I did, and instead I just did a video on the Kekistan drama, I would have 4 or 5 times the views, 4 or 5 times the traffic, for sure, hands down. But it's not about that. I'm seeing that because I'm doing what I want, it's negatively affecting me. The live streams mean that YouTube doesn't put out notifications for the videos that I put out. YouTube basically goes, you are doing too much. We're not treating you like spam, but you're somewhere in the middle. So the additional watch time, like YouTube doesn't recommend a live stream unless it's fucking stellar. The only live stream I've ever had YouTube recommend to people was one, and it was one in Toronto where I was talking about unstable card quality. It was a 20-minute live stream. People were going nuts. They were so happy with the news that I was doing. A ton of people came in and they threw cash at me, and so it was just this big, like, kind of explosive 20 minutes. And YouTube, like, it started recommending it to people over my recent videos. But live streams are lower priority. The best thing to do is to grow your channel and grow your size is legitimately just focus on making a few videos a week, be consistent as fuck, and be killer with what you're doing. The more content you make, basically every video, like, you're only as good as your last video, son. So if you're not stepping up your game, then they're going to treat, I see my thing go like this all over the place. And I could be going straight upwards if I would just go, this is what I do, but I can't do that because I got to be creative. So if you're just focused on growing, that's the view. Sorry if the answer is long and rambling, dude. It's just,
No. I like those kinds of answers.
Hey, we'll have to do a stream about this sometime too, because I think I can add a lot to. I think all of us.
Look at it this way. Look at it
Oh,
this
yeah.
way. If
Rogue's
you got a
gonna
live
know way
stream,
more than me, man. I'm new. Like, I'm a fucking noob. I feel like I'm lucky to
Kevin,
be-
what do you need me to write down here? What are we going to do a stream about next time?
I don't know. Yeah, aren't you the person that's supposed to organize these type of things?
That's what I'm asking you. What did you?
So fired.
Hey, Kevin.
So we're
What
looking for
what's
a
this-
new community manager here at roguedeckbuilder.com. You can submit your emails to me, and I can
eat shit.
Can I just say thank you? Can I say thank you for just inviting me on?
Yeah, no problem.
It's nice. I mean, Kevin, it's really great to meet you. Fucking perp. Love your shit, dude. It's really
Rogue
cool
Deck
to
Builder
meet
has
you,
a
man.
history.
Anytime you always say what's up, FTW. I think it's great. Car Bazaar, fucking love your videos, dude. I love all
Thank
you
you.
people. Tasty, you're new and I don't know, but
Yeah, I'm not so sure on myself
I
either.
like
no
you.
way.
Tasty is great, man.
It
Tasty
is. It's
great.
my
Yeah,
kitten.
it's good stuff. You guys are all dear people to my heart and to the Magic the Gathering community. And I just think I'm truly blessed to be here just to open my mouth on the internet. So
Yeah, Rogue Deck Builder has
Right
a
on.
history of just picking up nobodies and
Fucking
helping them
strays.
become
Well,
something.
My mom
He said not to do. He
My mom
literally
has a
says no
story about
nobodies.
So, my mom used to tell me that I was the kid that picked up strays. Brought them home.
Got him pregnant.
yeah.
Oh, good lord.
Hey, Kevin, I'm on the pill, so sorry.
But yeah, that's how Wedge ended up, and also Magic Man Sam, and look at where they all are at now.
Pregnant. That's what fucks his back
I
up.
will-
He's 9 months pregnant. He's about to birth the disappointment. Oh my god. I'm gonna get married after only knowing a chick for a month. That'll work out fucking well.
That's what
Once-
his surgery
once
was.
that
It was
chick has absorbed up all that shit, she'll be gone.
was
Who's
a
gonna want to fuck that
C-section.
once those brain chemicals
It was
wear
a
off?
C-section. He gave birth to his girlfriend and Tolarian Community College's kid. That's what that was.
What the fuck are we talking
I have
about?
not a clue.
super tangent.
All right, so let's get some introductions here. So, I guess, Coach, you haven't talked forever. Where can we find you, Coach, again?
Like I said before,
So polite.
I'm just listening for the most part. So y'all just talking it out. I mean, that was entertaining for me to watch.
Coach is one of my favorite people in the entire world for the YouTube community. This is one of the reasons why I keep doing it. Is you randomly meet people. How the hell did we ever even meet each other, Coach? Was it through John?
Amino.
Was it Amino?
I think so, because that's where I met Tasty.
Yep.
And John, I think I met.
And John's in chat, so.
Yeah, John, I found him, but it wasn't through Amino. I think it was through a video that I saw, and that's when I first contacted him like 2 years ago. Man, it was dude.
God, it's been a fucking while.
I know, it's
Jesus.
right.
Yeah, well, the funny thing about Coach too is I was pretty hesitant when I think I started talking with you, because I think it was right during the major drama where I felt like I was getting stabbed like crazy from people, and I'm like, I gotta get, and I knew who you were. Maybe that's how I think I knew who you were associated with, so I just automatically assumed that you would be like these people. And I remember it was like the biggest eye-opening, like, you know, when you judge a book by its cover and it's not what it ends up, you end up thinking it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just.
Well, I think.
Common.
Well, I think the first time we really talked was like what, a year ago, and I think I asked you, hey, you want to like, I think it was Skype or whatever, and we had like our first conversation with it was like 2.5 hours in like the middle of like a Saturday.
I kind of missed that too with like the Wedges and the Tolarians. I used to talk with Wedge and Brian quite a bit, and they're actually decent people. I think that's my biggest frustration with those two, is I want to like them. I so want to like them, but it's hard for me. So, like I said, you can't really hate a person unless you love them first. Go read Joe Abercrombie. The First Law, Joe Abercrombie, one of the best books I've ever, best trilogies ever, and then read the rest of them. There's my shield for Joe Abercrombie.
Wow. There you go.
Impressive.
But anyway, yeah. Coach is a great person. Go watch the propaganda videos for sure, as well as Coach. Awesome job on the top 100 cards.
Yeah.
When's that next one coming out?
Well, I could probably do the videos probably this week or next week. I know, however, we're about to run into our high school football coaching convention, which is we call it coaching school. So I'm actually leaving for San Antonio Saturday evening, and then I won't be back till like Tuesday. So hopefully if I could get out next Friday, because it's a shit ton of work. And you know, if I get out next Friday, like I got the script ready, I just got to do the recording, editing, and putting all the images and stuff.
Editing's a fucking monster of a job.
Well, it's like
I feel you on that.
The big part was doing the research and doing the numbers, and that was, you know, and I know people are not going to agree with the scoring system that I have, but it's like whatever. Like the first comment I got was about how much of a waste of time it was. That was the first comment that I got, and the person who actually responded to that was Nizahone, and what he said was, well, our scoring systems are like different. Like mine's more simple, his is more complex. However, it wouldn't be a bad idea for like with those eternal formats for these cards who have more inclusion than like legacy and vintage to have more point value. So of all people, like Niza came in and like replied and defended me. And we found out this guy he's getting his like dissertation. He's doing his dissertation on the mechanics and numbers of Magic. There's no way I could like keep up with that level of mathematics. Like the best I could teach, I'm certified in math up to about 9th grade. That's the best I got. So I can't I'm not on the same level with a person who's getting their doctorate in math. There's just no way. The person who made Magic like has his doctorate in mathematics. Like I can't keep up with that. There's no way. But people seem to enjoy it. People seem to like the style. People seem to like the moving pictures. Like I added more transitions. People seem to like that kind of aesthetic. So I'm gonna keep doing that. You know, there's 4 more videos coming out. So I want to shoot for 80 or 61 through 80 next Friday. Hopefully I could get all 5 by the time 2 a day starts. Hopefully. If not, I want to get out before school starts, even though my schedule is a lot better than it was last year. So
Do you
hopefully.
know how much I learned from watching your videos? That's what I have to applaud you on, is how much all your card anthology videos, I learned so much about, I guess, quote unquote, lore of Magic the Gathering, just because of your analytical and teaching nature. Are you a teacher? Is that?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's, I mean,
this is I'm going on to my.
I learned, bro. So
he's a coach.
If you're, so you're coach. So that's just not a joke.
Yeah,
That's not
I'm going on my my 6th year of coaching football and teaching history. I'm composite certified, so I'm going to be teaching. I'll actually be teaching economics next year or this coming semester. So that's going to be fun because I haven't done economics in forever.
You're a better man than me. I only lasted 4 years coaching, and I had it.
Yeah, swimming with little boys.
Hey, the little boys weren't the problem.
Yeah.
The little girls that call the cops on them.
Yeah, the problem. Story for another day.
I coached Little League soccer and I would always show up in a suit.
They don't get their way, so these girls these days. Exactly. That's my whole fight for this whole equality, men's rights. There's a lot of women.
Let me stop you right there, because when I worked at TM, when I worked at Toloso, I was the head boys and girls powerlifting coach, and a lot of times, most years, the girls were like the studs. Like the girls were the ones who put in all their effort. Like my girls were my better athletes. In most cases, I had 9 or 10 people consistently going to the state level and medaling, getting that top 5 in all of Texas, which y'all know is a huge state. So to have that, those girls were studs. So
yeah, my favorite swimmers were definitely. Just how can a male even say this? Because before all the my favorite athletes to work with were definitely females. The ones that we had one my last year that she put in her heart and soul. She was the only one in the weight room that seemed to even try to. Oh, Jesus Christ! Even tried to put in the effort, and it paid off. And she took 5th at state, and it was just a good experience to actually have someone that would listen and have had good work ethic, and actually beat all the practices, mornings and afternoons, and things like that. But by far though, oh man, some of the girls though were the most difficult, because they knew exactly. I mean, they threw tizzy fits, and again, they'd get the cops involved if they didn't get their way, type thing. And it's the audacity. I'll have to tell this story sometime. It is absolutely ludicrous that this girl thought she could call the cops.
I sell cars, so
over nothing, just because she wanted to get me in trouble. Anyway, that's a story for another day. But yeah, coaching was incredibly frustrating on a lot of parts, but it was very rewarding. And I kind of put running a local game store in that exact same category. There are some people that I'd rather never have come back in, that you just have to tolerate through. And again, I've had to pants on persons a little bit, probably. Can I say on the spectrum without offending a lot of people, or it just doesn't have good social skills, and so I gotta just realize that and suck it up and don't go nuclear on them. But again, it doesn't make my job any easier. And then there's other people like one of my kids, a couple of my kids, Talmadge and Caden, who we've just watched their personalities. I call my kids because their parents owe me child support. I've spent so much money in these damn kids that I want a paycheck for all the times we've fed them.
Right.
Anyway, that makes it worth it. A positive influence on people's lives. So I do miss coaching a little bit, but I think the game store gives me enough of that fulfillment to interact with people and kind of even have that same sort of leadership role that you do. I mean, running a game store is very similar to being a coach. Trust me on that.
Yeah. Well, I think also with this new district that I've been in for the last year or so, I mean, it was an eye opener, because our athletic director, Coach Rose, I mean, he was in a place called Cameron Yo, where it's about an hour outside of Austin, won 3 state championships, brought that same mentality to Portland. And it was just a huge eye opener. I felt like this was so much getting into a program that not only had tradition already, but when this man came in, he was so organized to the T. Like, it was just amazing going from what one school to another just does to a person. Like, I'm so lucky to actually be in this school district now. I have not said anything bad about this school. That's just how much of a difference this has made. And partly it was because of that man that I'm working for now. It's total flip flop of like, I had a bad experience. I was contemplating quitting coaching actually, which is why I got into teaching in the first place, was to coach. And then getting into Portland, I mean, that was an eye opener. That was a
How
huge
does
game.
this correlate with Magic?
We're talking about coach here.
Yeah, we're talking about coaching.
But we've gone astray from Magic.
Well, yeah.
I know. We're closing it off here. We're closing off.
I know, but I wanted
Is
him
it
to
lagging
correlate
on your
it to
guys'
Magic.
end? Are you guys? Because my computer is like really lagging.
You know what you should do, Coach? You
What's that?
should fully do the coach thing at your school and start like a Magic club if there isn't one there already.
Do you know what we're trying to do here? And this is something that I want Wizards to do. I don't know why Wizards hasn't done this. Is work with high schools, and what we're trying to do in our area, since we're like, you got to know my neck of the woods.
Oh, we lost Kevin.
And
oh, biscuits.
Did I
His
die?
neck of the woods is a desert. Just so you know, so there's not really a lot.
Yeah,
of
I don't know what's up. My computer is like acting up big time here. But anyway, my Richfield is the largest.
Anyway, this show has now been taken over by the other YouTube channels. MTG FTW. My name is That Feels Good Batman. I hope you all have a wonderful night. Thanks for stopping by. You back? Are you back?
Oh.
I don't know.
Kevin, are you back?
Kevin, are you alive?
I'm here. I have not a clue. I might just have to call it here because this thing is.
It might be an issue with the strength or the length of the stream, to be honest.
Could be.
Yeah, that's true. Once it gets too long, it just starts getting messy.
So let's wrap it up real quick. Who hasn't showed yet?
It's funny. Perps is like, oh, I thought of a wiener.
Perp, your turn to show. Go.
Yeah.
Perp, go for it. Chill.
Chill. What? Oh, fuck that, man. We've been at this for so goddamn long. You motherfuckers already know who I am. There we go. We're done. We're done. Rogue's been trying to end this motherfucker for 10 minutes, and all you bitches keep talking, so we're fucking done here.
Oh.
That was my plug. I'm done. Go ahead.
Yeah, my computer's about ready to give up the ghost drive. No.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Don't die, Rogue. Don't die.
It's like we're almost there.
Who's next? Go Adderwolf. Who are you?
I am the resident guy that ends up in all these streams that doesn't really do anything.
Nice.
I guess if Kevin's going to recommend books, I'll recommend anybody who is in a business or coaching or doing anything and wants to understand the mentality of large groups of people. I would recommend reading a book called Leading by Sir Alex Ferguson. It's one of the greatest sports managers of all time. And basically he is a master of man management. He knew what players to give a hard time and put a foot up their ass and encourage them to be better, and what kind of players to give a hug to and put your arm around and give encouragement to. So I guess if you're gonna learn how to do some man management, as Kevin likes to do, read that book. It's good stuff. Other than that, I might be starting up a channel here soon on how to build vape boxes and do rebuildables on all kinds of electronic cigarette devices. So keep an eye out for that. I might be doing some of that pretty soon. So
Dope.
There you go.
Very cool. All right, MTG FTW.
Oh
Go.
shit! Oh fuck! I got nothing. I mean, I like opening boxes. I'm not really much of a brewer, so I guess I got to really tap into that brewing because I'm not really good at brewing books.
Try your hand out in the Rogue Master Brewer.
Oh yeah, sure. I'm just gonna submit a deck with all lands though, and I hope I get that $25 spot.
One in 12 chance, bro. 1 in 12 chance.
I mean, I love all you guys. I love watching all your videos. So I learn a lot from all of you, and I guess I'm just gonna keep recording stuff and
Hey, I
keep selling
just did
cards, and selfishly shill. But I'm not really much of a shiller, so I just kind of a low guy on the totem pole who like gets angry every once in a while. So but I mean, I just kind of honored to be here. Some of the people that even Tasty, some of the people that I thought were just ivory tower people of the internet, of the YouTube channel, and I just wanted to be a part of it.
Ivory Tower?
I don't know. I don't know. So this is all new.
He's
I don't
a
know
nobody.
anything. So I just got on Twitter and was just like, and I fucking watched Perp's fucking live streams and dick and fart jokes all the time, and I just was like, wait a minute, fucking this purple haired dude can do it. Surely.
Wait. What fucking stream are you watching, motherfucker? I don't make
All your
fart jokes.
streams. Oh my god.
Are you too busy
Oh my
masturbating
God.
to pay attention to what the fuck I'm saying during my streams? Jesus Christ.
I do. I masturbate and pay attention. God damn.
Obviously, you're only doing one of those.
Well, at least you didn't break a broomstick up your ass, I guess. So.
Anyway, I just small channel.
Not my fault.
Just gonna keep, I guess, recording stupid videos. So, if everyone wants to watch them, watch them. That's it. I mean,
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And
God, you're such an asshole. Such an asshole.
Aria, your turn.
What? I'm just wondering shit.
fucking boo.
Who do you write for in specific?
Rogue Deck Builder, you're on.
Oh, fucking double boo.
All right.
Brutal.
I
I'm
might do
Tasty.
something in the future. Who knows?
Yeah, make video content or do something.
Triple boo.
Triple boo.
But I'm Tasty Snackies. Some of you who are already subscribed to the channel have probably seen some of my deck techs. That's one of the things I'm mostly known for. I make MTG memes.
He's known for hating Desolator. Let's be real. He's that guy who hates Desolator and did the video about Desolator once.
That's true. No,
Once,
I made
multiple
3
times.
videos. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I made 3. I made 2. I made 2 in succession.
You made 3 Desolator videos, and you honestly think there's a fucking chance he's ever going to forgive you. You're a head case.
No, yeah,
I've given up the
fucking
ghost.
toast.
I've given up the ghost on that, and I'm just willing to just talk and shoot the shit with it. Hey, you know what? If he's willing to be aggressive, I can handle aggressive.
Desolator's in his own crib playing with himself. Just let him be over there.
Can we set up a boxing match between Tasty Snackies and Desolator, since that's the new YouTube craze?
I guess.
I want to see him hug it out. I want to see like a full-on, but aggressive hugging.
Aggressive.
You know?
So
aggressive hugging.
Like an
Well, we
intense
could-
compliment match where you're like,
No,
you're
no,
really
like, no.
nice. No, you're
No,
really
no,
handsome.
no talking.
We'll do
No
a
talking.
2018
Just
intense
hugging.
eye-
Just aggressively.
Aggressive hugging,
and then
eye
say-
contact, no words.
No,
I'm sorry.
Sumo.
And then
It's the same
so
thing.
I'm gonna have a video featured on my channel where Desolator and I have a very intense and somewhat sexual hug. So you can all
That's
look forward
awesome.
to that.
I would totally promote that video.
You got to
on
put
my-
George Michael's saxophone solo in the background, bro.
Fucking strangers in the night playing in the background.
Yeah, baby.
But I also host a weekly podcast on my channel called The Manadorks. It's just where me and my other friend just bullshit about Magic the Gathering. We just recently featured Rogue Deck Builder yesterday, and we're going to have more guests in the future. So, all y'all, I'm going to be bothering y'all in the future. And John, you're in that. And Desolator, maybe. Hopefully, if I'm lucky enough. I also plan on revitalizing an old series of mine called Dig Through Time, where it's kind of like if any of you remember, because he doesn't make them anymore, Evan Irwin used to do a Forgotten Lore series. It's kind of based like on that, but also around like Ristic Study style of videos. If you look back far enough on my channel, you can find one about tiny leaders, but I'm going to be making more videos in that vein as well, on top of deck techs for this channel. In particular, Popper, Standard, Commander, whatever. And
Is that coming
yeah.
back?
What's that?
When's that coming back? The new deck tech. When's that?
I'm actually working on one right now. It's
I'll believe it when I see it, Tasty. I'll
Yeah.
believe it when I see it.
He means it right now in the stream. He's literally trying to steal ideas from us for a video.
Well, no,
I've been
so
working on
I'm
a video the whole
actually-
time I've been here.
Well, no, I've been editing while I've been streaming here. Like, I'm actually about to upload another Desolator meme video, like, right now.
There's
So this
nothing
is
like
a good chill
half-assing two things at once.
This is a good chill opportunity. I'm actually currently uploading a Desolator meme right now, just to prove you wrong, Purple. It's 4 Desolator videos now, so fuck off. First,
oh my
off.
god.
What was that shit about the fucking curtains? I remember that shit. Wasn't that you, Perp, and Desolator talking about your fucking curtains a long time ago?
Yeah, but hold up. Did Coach get his plug yet? Did he already do his plug?
Coach,
Yeah,
Well, what I was saying was with Tasty, he also did 2 videos with me.
No,
So
fuck Tasty. Plug you.
Yeah, he did. Nick, did you did 5th
I
edition
still-
and then you did Unglued too. Unglued was like freaking hilarious.
Wait,
I
did
thought it was the bomb.
dox Tasty? Did you just dox Tasty's name?
Nick.
What? No, my name's yeah, it's personal. I make where I
Hold
live.
on, your name is the same thing as Steel? No wonder you look so fucking untrustworthy.
I'm not the best kind. Yeah, you don't want to be in a room with me. It's
why not?
I do, because I feel like when somebody's gonna bully somebody, they'll be more likely to try it with you. Like you're more likely to fuck with than me. So I'll just sit over in the other side of the room and be like, hey, oh, that's all I got now, man. My brain, I'm done. It's too late at night. I got nothing clever left. It's just
I'm
hate.
out. You'll
It's
have
just
a wonderful night. Take care.
Later.
Peace.
Have a
I
good
love
one.
you, Purple.
Everybody just leaves now. Tasty, you took over, man. I didn't mean to fuck that shit up. You're wrapping it up. I just can't help it. It's what I do.
It's all good. I'm kind of distracted anyways because I'm in the middle of uploading and shit. But
trying to advertise and upload it at the same time.
yeah, exactly. While also having people talk shit on me. It's all good. I don't give a fuck.
Tasty, I gotta send you my friend code for Switch so we can be Switch buddies, bro.
That
Do
sounded
it.
super, super creepy the way you said that.
Oh, also earlier, Perp. Yes, Minecraft is on the Switch. Because
Yeah,
you were
and-
talking about that earlier.
Yeah, I was thinking
Right